The Galactic Soul, the Honorable Brother, the Revolutionary yourself, Darius Lockhart, and I'm here to tell you to watch Powerbombshells every Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern on the Fight Game Media YouTube channel. That's right, every Sunday at 1 p.m., and that's on time, every time, because when we stand together, what time is it? That's right, it's nation time.
Welcome to Powerbombshells 205. I'm Mel, that's Sam. We're just two broads talking about the wrestling we watch. I got kidnapped by a leprechaun. I got his hat though, and that is why we are not here on time every time. I love that Darius says that. Because we all know it's wizard time, but really it's revolution
but today
time.
It's leprechaun time, apparently. So
I had to chase him down, guys. It's my bad.
Yeah.
But I got this hat. So.
And that is a very nice hat and well worth being a few minutes behind.
Yeah.
Luckily, the pay-per-view it's not one of those pay-per-views where it's going to be at 3:30. We have time to do our pre-show and then still get you out of here to go watch 0 Hour. You have plenty of time. So,
which they put the TBS Championship.
Well, listen, as I say, when I asked Deanna, when I interviewed her, I asked her if wrestlers see any difference between the pre-show and the main show. She said no. It's all about going and performing in front of the fans and getting the fans ready. And the other company is the one who made pre-shows seem unimportant. And she said wrestlers don't feel that way. They just see it as an opportunity to compete on a pay-per-view. And so that's how I try to remind myself that when I see things like that. Do Willow and Lena feel the same? I don't know. I don't want to speak for them, but Deanna, from what Deanna told me, wrestlers do not see the difference. It is all performing in front of the fans.
I guess they still get paid no matter what.
Yes. So, and she, as she put it, she was like, we're getting fans excited for the main show. We're giving them, we're going out there and competing for them before a really big show. And she was like, we see it as all one show. It's not separated into two things. And so,
that's a fair point, because you're essentially getting fans riled up for the main show. I mean, that's a fair point. I can get
and and there was a time when WWE did see the pre-shows being important, but then when they realized that they had to pay people, they stopped putting any emphasis on it, and now they don't put matches on it at all. They've completely changed the way people view it. So now other wrestling fans. That's why I wanted to ask her about that, because that is such a connotation that fans have, because WWE taught us pre-shows don't matter anymore. Where AEW was like, yes, they do. And then apparently talent, or at least one talent, thinks that they do matter. So I tried to, because I kind of groaned when I saw it, and then I was like, well, it is the same show. Deanna said, try to remember how I was like, hopefully other wrestlers, maybe that's how they view it as well. And so I try not to roll my eyes or groan
too hard.
Yeah.
And
try to remember that's WWE brain kicking in, telling me that the pre-show is not important when it is important.
True. No, you're right. And even if WWE did once upon a time, they actually used to have to sell pay-per-views. So they really would actually hammer those shows. Because I remember them being exciting and wanting, as a little kid, a younger kid, wow, I wish that I could afford that. I would watch that.
Yeah. Yeah, and exactly.
But now they have everyone's money. I found out that my Peacock subscription is staying intact. So as far as it's gonna stay with my cable provider for me not having to pay for it. So I activated it this week, because if it wasn't gonna be with my my cable subscription, it's for my internet. Yeah, because we get the extra high speed internet package, so they throw that in there as a perk.
Right.
But I was like, with this change, all these changes that they're doing, I was like, but they sent me an email and they're like, activate your thingy, and I was like, okay, all right, almost lost me. Except, wait, is WrestleMania going to be on Peacock, or is it going to be on Netflix?
No, it's going to be. So they're doing it differently this year, because people are not ESPN. They're not using the app. They're having a really hard time with it.
No kidding.
The first hour of each night will be on ESPN, and then you have to wait. I believe, or is it on Peacock? It's on the first hour is on something else, and then to watch the rest of the show, you have to use the app. That's how they're trying to hook people into using the app because people aren't wanting to use it.
But I still don't have to pay any extra money, right?
If you have ESPN with your cable service, all you have to do is activate ESPN Unlimited, which is what I had to do. I'm going to have to redo it because we just switched over to Fubo this week and they have it through there. And so I'll have to, I need to activate it through that because I have to, that way, obviously, if I have to help, I'm sure I'll be helping with WrestleMania coverage, obviously, because it's a huge show. So I'll definitely have to make
my
sure
Disney Hulu bundle has it in there. So
yeah, so then
this week I got 2 emails from them. One was to activate the Peacock, and one was to activate the ESPN thing on there. So
yeah, I've got to do that.
That's myself. I mean, that's fine. That's included in a subscription to something else I have.
Yeah, so I can't remember. Yeah, the first hour of each night is on something else, and then you have to watch the rest of the show. They want you to switch over to the app because they're having a hard time.
And then I noticed
reportedly ESPN is not happy with the way this has played out because people are not wanting to pay what they thought they're not wanting to pay extra.
People can't pay. It's not even not wanting to. It's
right.
The people that are at the top right now are just doing business as usual when that's not the reality on the ground for humans. Like everything is down right now. It's just down.
Crash
people have no money.
Crash has a good tip. Always an option to watch Revolution via hacking us into a Starlink feed.
I mean, okay, so HBO, I guess, is doing it. It's $35, which I think is like $10 off the top.
I don't know because I think that's correct. I think
for Revolution. I'm on the side. Now I've transitioned to Revolution, which is what we're here for.
No. I don't. I'm not watching through HBO, so I'm not sure. How
are you? What do you watch?
My friend and I go in together, and we use a VPN and get it through Triller because it's cheaper.
They've started having, so they introduced,
and then he's gonna try next month because he'd already purchased it on Triller. Next month he's gonna try it through my AEW using
I was just gonna say my friend in that part of the world has done the my AEW TV thing that they just rolled out in the Euro.
Yeah.
And it's like $120 for the whole year, and you get like the pay-per-views are inexpensive, and then I think that you get the entire ROH
you have to pay extra for the ROH thing. I think it's a separate tier from what I heard. I believe
I think that some of the matches were in there, but not the whole
it's not the whole library for the whole library is on Honor Club, but I think for ROH to access whatever they've got available for ROH, I believe is a different tier than the ROH one, I think. I think that's how it was explained to me. I don't know how accurate that is, but
Triller usually does that too for so many usually if you go through so that's probably what I'll end up doing. So Triller usually what they do is they do that double pack. So if I go in there today,
that's how my friend and I have been doing the pay-per-views.
Because it's cost the same as one pay-per-view and you get both.
Yes. So. That's how we've been watching the pay-per-views, and then we go in
same.
And so that's what we've been doing. And then because he had already purchased the pay-per-view through Triller, he was like, I think for Dynasty, I'm going to switch over to my AEW and we'll try buying it through that and try it that way. Because you can't, because somebody was like, well, I started my AEW, but I already bought the pay-per-view on Triller, and you can't transfer it between the two, obviously. So
I should check when I go online to my Triller account. I'll check because I may have already paid for this for all I know.
Yeah.
With the last one, it's possible.
Yeah,
because I know I've been buying the 2 packs. I just can't remember if they had one for this or not because of how far apart the last 2 have been. But
yeah, Crash has the new AEW International package, which is on the new site, which is my AEW. But the annual package is a pretty decent price. Yeah, that's what
I was hearing was that annual package is a decent price and comes with a lot of stuff.
Yeah. And when he was asked about it on the media call, because it was obviously the very first question, he said that right now this is just a way to get international fans to be able to easily watch the product and watch pay-per-views. At this time, he claims that it is not something that they will do domestically because of the TV deals. I'm sure he also has to be careful with what he says while these deals are in place.
There's a lot going on.
When I first heard it announced, it sounded like, when this deal ends, and who knows what the media landscape is going to look like by the end of 2027. He has the infrastructure in place should he want to bring it this way. As of now, he was very adamant that this was for international fans only. Have a really great deal. He talked about Paramount because people were like, obviously people are like, oh, well, the Paramount deal, that's going to kill AEW because of UFC. And he was like, no, I don't think so. He was like, I have a good relationship with Danny Ellison from being in the NFL for 15 years. And he's like, so Paramount, I have a relationship with them. And he was like, and he even like, because a little bit later, Dave Meltzer was circling back to this question and talked about UFC and stuff, and he was like, and he mentioned that he has a good relationship with Dana White. So like he obviously is being very diplomatic about his answers, but he is not in panic. At least he's not coming across as being in panic mode. But I mean, he does have 15 years experience working with the NFL. So he's been through these things before with the NFL. So I think Tony is in a much better place than people realize as far as understanding what's happening. And he does have those relationships because of the NFL that he can hopefully use to his advantage. So I understand why certain people are freaked out about it, but
if you're hanging around with a group of us in our Discord who talk the business side of these things, you can see where these things are going on, and he has to keep his mouth shut because there's so many moving pieces to what these deals are going on, and the politics of it all, and the intricacies of it all. And who's going to win and how it's going to look.
Right.
But in reality, on paper, AEW makes money. So for a company to acquire something and then to kill something that makes money doesn't make a whole heck of a lot.
No, it doesn't. And I think Tony doesn't. Again, he has to be careful with what he says. He does not come off as being somebody who is concerned, like overly concerned, because he does have those real reputations of like, hey, I have.
And this is going to take a minute. It's not going to be an overnight process.
No,
this is going to be these two big deals are going to take some period of time. They're going to take government intervention, because the government has to oversee what goes on with these things because of the size of the deals and the impact they have on the market and all of these other. There's so many factors. And you could not possibly try. I know fans think they know what they're talking about. However, they don't.
No.
And it's like Tony's not going to get in the weeds with business with people. And like you said, you nailed it right there. I think he's been through this a time or even at his age.
He even made the point that hey, if Paramount owns AEW, they have NFL games are on CBS. And that would be a really cool thing to have AEW alongside of the National Football League, where I have also spent all of this time. And so for him, that would be probably that might be the ideal thing for him to have his two. Well, other than obviously Fulham, but he's got those two. Those are his bread and butter. That's what he knows about. So he didn't seem too freaked out.
Well, think about the cross advertising. Potential for AEW.
You look at SmackDown,
crap all over the NFL stuff.
Right. And when SmackDown was on Fox, football games were advertised during SmackDown all the time.
Right.
Baseball games, the World Series was advertised during SmackDown. And then they would vice versa. They would talk about SmackDown during the football games. So even just having that. And then, next year we do have, or is it this year? I think it's next year that they're doing that. Tony announced that they're doing the Lucha Libre masks or the luchador masks rather for each NFL team. I can't remember if that's going to be this year or next year that's coming to fruition. So he at least has that. He kind of has that starting point already. So should something, if Paramount buys AEW and all that stuff, then he also has that as well. So
too many ifs to even try and conjecture on. I don't blame him. On that one, I expect him to not say much.
Yeah. And I get, of course, you as a journalist, you have to ask these things, and it gets asked nearly every call. But of course, and my thought too, when I saw the AEW announcement, I was like, I wonder if this is going to be something that we see here domestically once the TV deal ends, which is still, who knows? But for right now, he is saying this is to get, obviously domestic brings it as where a majority of the AEW viewers are. However, they are growing their international audience, and he wants to make it easy for them to be able to watch the product. So, even if it ends up being internationally only, it's very smart of him to do. So,
well, if you can't break into the TV station markets, you have to make it, and the demand is there. So otherwise you wouldn't waste your time.
You're right, exactly. Thanks, Crash. So I've been doing media calls since back when Cody Rhodes was doing them. So I've been doing media calls for quite a while, but they've always been under Daily DDT because that was how I got. That's how I was.
I have the clip if you want me to play.
I was credentialed through Daily DDT, and so at the beginning of the year, when Daily DDT decided they were going to have only paid employees who work for them run the Daily DDT website, which still has not been updated since Royal Rumble weekend, by the way. I was like, okay, well, I have to find a new way. And of course, I'm sure if I asked my editors at Wrestling Inc., I'm sure they would have let me go in as a representative. But other people they use their podcast as their platform and their organization that they represent. And so I wanted to use Power Bombshells and to have that name out there. And so I think, and so it was really cool to have, and then like Paul Fontaine, messaged us and was talking about how it was really cool to have Power Bombshells listed as the organization that I was representing. And so I thought it was really cool, and I'm glad that he appreciated that. And so Garrett was kind enough to take some time I sent him the audio from the call and time stamped it for him. And he was nice enough to clip it together for us, put up a little fancy picture that he made.
You can go find it on all our socials.
It's right here on this YouTube. It's on this very channel. After the show, if you go, you'll see a short that has the clip there. We posted it to Instagram and Blue Sky. Fight Game Media posted it to Twitter. So I do need to post it on Facebook though. But we did so it's out there, and so I appreciate them taking the time to do that.
I think I shared it on my
you
Facebook.
did. It's all over the place.
It's because I have a small group of my local nerds who are all wrestling people, and I was like, what am I doing not sharing these on my Facebook? Because I have all these local wrestling friends that are into this stuff that will up-like it.
Right.
It's public. So I'm like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
And I even have like my friend here in town that helps put together the wrestling show here. He is someone that like he'll share that stuff, which I think is really cool.
That's really cool.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
So
that's
very a lot of fun. It's like, oh yeah, I have wrestling nerds in my life. What am I doing?
Right. Crash of the Revolution Shout and Hot Beat televised. It's on the YouTube via PBS on Fight Game Media. Also on this network, and it's on our Instagram. It's on Twitter from way back, but also today, well, not today because Revolution in 2024 was March the 3rd, but because it is Revolution Day, it was 2 years ago at Revolution was Sting's retirement match, and I was in attendance, got to see Sting's retirement match in person, and then I got to ask him a question in his final media scrum. I don't think anything will, knock on wood, nothing will probably ever top that in my career.
That was so awesome. I thought about that too.
To ask Sting, first of all, to be able to thank him for, his career, everything he's done, and then to ask him a question that not only he answered, but Tony weighed in on the question as well. And it was a really cool moment. And again, I've always said, I don't know that anything will top that. And so it was really cool. So it's on our Instagram page. I'll have to share. It's pinned on our Instagram story, but I'll share it in our stories later. And I will probably post it every year at Revolution time just because
it's awesome. It's our time. It's so awesome that it happened. And I'm so glad that it was so cool. Cause I was like, wow, that's awesome. And then I realized I was like, because you said you were like, screw it, everyone else does uses their creator platform. I was like, she's asked Sting a question. She has every right to use her own platform. We've been doing this for 4 years. It started to strike me in my head after you said you were like, screw it, everyone. And it's true. When I was thinking about all the creators that, for better or worse, like whatever, good on them. But why not?
Right.
And we've got our platform, we've got our thingy, and I was like,
right.
I was so proud of Sam. I was like, but then I was like, oh my God, now I got to stop doing dumb shit all the time. She's going to make us too legit.
Sorry about that.
So I'm wearing this hat. It's like, she's just my co-host, okay?
If you are new here and are somehow, if you're coming to us because you heard my question, about Brody King on the media call. Mel, this is a gimmick that we started on our podcast a couple of years ago. It's stuck because the people love it, and Mel always gets creative, and that is why. And also because she had to fight a leprechaun before the beginning of the show, and she took his hat. So
right, exactly. So that's right. I know that all my Irish friends are cringing, except that they also know that I have, and I'm not like going to do the appropriation thing, except that I am totally going to do the appropriation thing. I'm wearing this hat.
Yeah,
I do know the names and birthplaces of all of my ancestors, though, from Ireland. Like we have a genealogy. I have found like their birth records in the records abroad because they keep good records, especially in the county which I'm sure Crash will laugh at this. It's the county where my family is from, which is County Cork, is a very special county that thinks it's a very special county in Ireland. And they even have a very different accent than the traditional like Western or Eastern accents that you would hear. And so there's that's it. There you go. Yep. I am pretty. Yeah, that's actually that's a very good analogy for me. So, totally appreciate it. But yeah, so the county that my family's from, they really like to brag about being from that county. And it's hilarious. And so, but there's a guy, and I'll share this on one of our Instagrams, that does a little, I'm forgetting his name right this minute, but he does a little gimmick about people from Cork and how they sound like Tinker Gnomes. And, yeah, see, exactly. This is right. County Cork. They have a different, it's very funny. There was a point we were in a great little restaurant. It was local, and the gal was so sweet, but her accent was so thick. Bob had to look at me. He was looking at me like, did you catch that? Did you understand that? And I was like, totally did. Yep. Yeah, it's hilarious. I will share there's a comedian that does a very, very funny little thing, and it will give you kind of an overview of the county and how the people but yeah, Ireland's a wonderful place. And just like here in America, I know people, even though it's small, it's really crazy. All different parts of Ireland, all different kinds of people with all different kinds of accents and regional like dialects, and ways that they do foods. It's weird. It's like a mini America. Yeah, it's me playing dumb American tourist. I mean, we stick out no matter what. We can't hide ourselves. Bob and I own it when we do that. When we leave the country, we're like, we know we're Americans, so we're just gonna be as polite as. But we're also Midwestern Americans, and much like you Southern Americans, we have the hospitality and the politeness when we go places. Yes, that was one of my favorite things about you asking that question. That's what I wanted to say. This was a long way. The first thing that Sam did was ask Tony how he was. I was like, my co-host, polite as pie, just, hi, Tony, how are you, is the first thing Samantha says to. And I'm just like, I love you so much.
To be fair, is not just me. We generally ask Tony how he is. All of us do. I think it's just a normal, it's not like, oh, when Tony comes on the call, you have to ask how he is. I think it's just a normal, polite
you're
thing
polite.
To do. Yes,
but
hi, how are you?
What I think is funny is that because you are a polite person, it was very cute because I was like, she's so polite.
Well,
I love that girl. She's even and it was so cute. I just love that clip. I have it and I didn't upload it to our little thing here because we didn't have time. But
that's all right.
I was so happy and proud, and I was like, oh wow, that's so cool. It's like she said power bombshell.
I knew, and it was funny because I knew, going into it, I wasn't thinking oh, this is to get power bombshells more platform. It was just I got to give them an organization to represent. I want to do. Why can't I do my podcast?
Right?
Why not? Why? I mean, and again, I'm sure Wrestling Inc. I'm sure my editors would have been fine if I had asked their permission. But I just was like, you know what? Why not Power Bombshells? The other people do use their podcast, and then after hearing it and then realizing, I was like, wait a minute. I was like, this was a little bit bigger than I didn't put, I wasn't thinking, I have to say Power Bombshells because it's going to get our podcast name out there. Exactly. I was just thinking that's the organization I want to represent on this media call. And hopefully if I, doing media scrums and things like that, if I get to go to future events, then, Power Bombshells will probably be what I what I say. And like, yeah, and Paul, thank you. Paul said this. Paul said he was like, it's such a good name, which was nice. Which is, again, if you were new here, Mel is the one who came up with that name, and we get complimented on that quite often. And I think also it may have taken Tony a minute because he usually I'm announced as Samantha Sherman from Daily DDT, and that has been that way for years. And I'm sure he heard it and was like, wait a minute, that's not Daily DDT. That's a different name. that's Powerbomb.
My favorite was the guy reading it off, because I think for half a second, that guy, when he read the name, thought, that's a really clever name. He had like a beat where I think he was thinking about it and went, because he read it and then he thought about it. And I'm like, for me, in my mind, I'm like, I think he thought our name was clever.
That's the very wonderful moderator, Danny, who moderates all the calls, and he's the one who schedules. He sends out the schedule all the time, and he's.
Shout out, Danny.
I haven't interacted with him too much, but he's been really great. When I have, and he runs the calls very well and keeps everybody on track, which is great. He's really good at it, and yeah, exactly. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, Tony.
Oh, my favorite thing from this week was because Dave and Jeremy were in the building and they had the front row seats there. I'm sure you saw them on the TVs. And if you didn't,
I did. I screenshot. I about started something in the Powerbomb. I mean, in the Slack this morning that they a couple got a little spicy.
Really? I'll have to check that out. Interesting.
Yeah,
and what was funny for us was that
the situation before it got out of hand.
Garrett, that's what Garrett does. He is the master of that. Is what Garrett.
I was just trying to, because I call at the end of Collision. Because I was typing, whatever, and Nikki was like, look, there's Dave. And I was like, rewind it and see if you can see Jeremy, because Jeremy is next to him, and the shot panned out. We got a shot just enough where Jeremy was next to Dave, and you can see like Andrade's trap in the picture. And so I posted it I almost posted it to Twitter, and I was like, well, maybe Jeremy doesn't want that there. So I was like, I'll just post it in the Slack, and then about caused a little bit of a thing this morning. I got a little spicy, and Garrett had to step in real quick.
I think I know what you're talking about, because I did catch up. Okay.
Yeah.
The funniest part of all of that. So we did our Discord thread on Wednesday, and they were all, so Garrett was in the building. One of our Discord folks, shout out, who gave me the Miguel, who gave me the luchador hat from Mexico.
Right.
Like, he was in the building, I believe. So they were taking pictures, and they were all about different places. And my assumption was just simply that Garrett has gone to a lot of shows with Dave. So he probably said to Jeremy, like, why don't you do the thing with Dave? And how, because it was hilarious. Because I was like, oh, right, you're in the building. And Garrett, he was hilarious because he's like, Jeremy is sitting in seats handpicked by Tony Khan. And it was like, ooh, fancy.
Well, that will probably never happen to me. So good for Jeremy.
No, it was amazing. So it was so cute because we knew, and we were making jokes about Dave and one of the funniest jokes, because Dave has been known in the past to text Garrett when he's at shows very disorganized notes.
Right. Yes.
So we have a running joke about it. And so they were like, Dave's on his phone. Why isn't he watching? We were giving out to Dave. And I said, he's probably texting Garrett random notes. Yeah. And then it kind of got left alone for a while. We get further down the thread, and sure enough, by like midway through the show, a little past midway, he had gone on Twitter and said, talk to Garrett on Twitter, and Kevin Neely screenshotted it and just tagged, said it right into the thing with me. And I was like, see this dude. I mean, we were having so much fun with Uncle Dave, and Jeremy must have, but so it didn't make the air, but I asked because, he's like, I wonder if the thing between Dave and Andrade made the air. I said, did he try to give Dave his number?
Speaking of, right here, a perfect segue.
That's hilarious.
That's a joke. A lot of people were making that joke on Twitter.
That's exactly the first thing I said, is that, did he give Dave his number?
Yeah.
But so I don't think much of it made, I think a little of it, but I said, what happened? Jeremy said he purposefully came over and shook Dave's hand and then stared a hole through Jeremy for no apparent reason, which I thought was fantastic, because And he said that Don Callis nearly broke him, with all the inane shit he was saying.
I can imagine.
And then I realized, I was like, of course, Don Callis knows Dave Meltzer is right there. So he's definitely going to be standing there doing Don Callis things towards Dave Meltzer. And then it got that picture in my head. So I was like, so we had a blast with this week's show. Was really great. It was a great go-home show. Yeah. And on top of that, they were in the building and doing all the silly things they were doing. I
haven't had a chance to listen to Speaking of Strong Style yet, but I believe I saw the title was sitting ringside at AEW, sitting front row at AEW, something like that. So I know Jeremy talks about it on this week, Speaking of Strong Style. So if you want to hear Jeremy's firsthand perspective of attending, because it was a double show, obviously, because the pay-per-views today, they filmed Collision ahead of time. It was not live last night. So Wednesday was Dynamite, and then they got Collision, and the main event of Collision, which I heard, when on the media call, Tony said at the, his giving his closing thoughts, he was like, make sure you watch the main event between Andrade and Mascara Dorada on Collision. It's one of the best matches we've ever had on Collision.
Yeah.
And then I saw later that Dave gave it like 4 3/4 stars, I think is what he gave it, which great match, not the greatest to cover, because there was so much happening.
Right.
And we did get, because Brad tagged us and was like, I'm sure that they're going to talk about this. We did get Mascara Dorada doing this insane reversal into a destroyer. That was very, very cool. I love Mascara Dorada. He and Andrade had great chemistry. It was really, really great. And so I saw this thing. I've been kind of this Andrade thing where he goes and takes selfies with women in the crowd. I don't love, but it's just whatever. I think part of it just because knowing what I know about Andrade, the person, makes it a little, to me,
cringy.
A little cringy. However, and I know that Sobrano Jr., I know what he's doing in Mexico. He's doing something kind of similar. And it's extremely popular. And so I was like, okay, well, maybe Andrade's doing that. Well, I did see a quote from Andrade earlier today, and I just happened to see it before we came on. He did an interview, and he was saying that the wrestling is so good in AEW, he wanted to do something to stand out because there is so much good wrestling. And he was thinking, like, what can I do? And he was like, well, I'm a Latino. I'm an attractive man. I know women. And he was like, I want to be a heel and be just kind of arrogant and be like, I know this woman wants to take a selfie with me. And so let's take a picture. And so he's doing it as like a way to stand out, which I was like, that's a really interesting way to go about it, and to know that the wrestlers in AEW are so good that in order to stand out, besides just being really good in the ring, I have to do a little something different with my character. And I was like, I can appreciate that from him and a little bit more. And I was like, maybe I won't cringe at it as hard. Looking at it from a character perspective instead of what you can read about Andrade as a person, but Andrade as a wrestler, he does this, which I was like, okay, well, that makes sense. But yes, it would have been. That's really funny though that he stared all over Jeremy for no reason.
Yeah, I loved it. I was like, that's amazing. I mean, I'm so glad they had as much fun as it sounds like they had, because it was a great show anyway.
It was a really great show.
You rarely get to sit that close and do that kind of thing. So that was really fun.
Yes. Yeah, with that I can only describe as a spinning Canadian destroyer from Dorado. You and Nikki must have been in your element. I didn't realize it was a destroyer at first because the way it set up and the way it happened. And I think I said like 4 different times during that match, how do I describe that? Or what was that? Because they are so, because they were just reversing everything so perfectly, but not in a like, it was such a good match. And they were just reversing stuff. And I was like, I don't know what to call that. And so at first I didn't even realize it was a destroyer because of the way it happened. And then we went back and watched it. And it was so cool. And then speaking of destroyers, I happened to see last night, Dutch from The Righteous was at an indie show last night, and he did a destroyer.
Nice.
And so I retweeted the video of that. It was really cool. And I was like, I don't think I've ever seen Dutch hit a destroyer before. I was
That's
like,
awesome.
So that was really cool.
And see, on Revolution weekend, it was like
see,
isn't it?
So we'll see if I get one today at Revolution. They were like,
I think
no,
you
I don't know.
did.
And
Have
nobody,
a very excellent chance.
well, Nick, but Nick, was it Nick or is it Matt? One of the Jacksons has been doing destroyers more often recently, which I appreciate very much. So
yeah.
I hope we get a destroyer during
that match. Should be. I hope that they go out and kill it.
Look, this Lena and Megan's tag team is the Megan Power.
Yeah.
Yeah. Funny.
Poor Lena Cross.
All right, so I guess it's time. Hang on. Crush says you have to see the Desperado top rope Canadian destroyer through a table on Jun Kasai in their death match last year.
Oh.
I feel like maybe I need to see that clip. So somebody at me if you find it. I mean, I guess I can I'll try to go look it up myself. But if you
that
happen
just
to
sounds
see it,
amazing.
If you happen to see it before I do, please tag me.
Mm-hmm. That's probably amazing.
Or you can just tag, if you want to, you can just tag it at Powerbombshells because I will see it that way as well. Yes. Yeah, all people. It is Nick. That's what I was thinking. I was like, I think it's Nick that's been hitting the destroyers. Nice. Jordan says he wants the Scottish accent.
I don't know, man. It's thick.
Cross City's ready for Revolution. Mug root beer and pizza for everyone.
Sounds good.
Like a plan to me.
That sounds delicious.
That does sound delicious.
All right.
Yeah.
You want to get this party started?
Let's do, because I think the people are here for the Revolution pre-show. So.
All right, let me get this off our
Actually, wait
here.
just a minute. Let me see. Hold on. Take that down for 1 second. I gotta see. Down. Let's see if let me see if our guest is ready. Hold on.
I could not find a graphic specifically for a Revolution for Willow's match, so I just put a picture of Willow and in her interview saying she was going to defend that match. So you guys have to just suck that one up.
Hold on. We might have to kill time for a second because I think we have someone
we can probably do that.
Who will be popping in just a moment. And also, before we get too far into it, maybe not, just thinking of referee Dallas from this weekend. And also, fuck OVW and fuck your AI response, Al Snow.
Oh, that was someone got hurt.
The referee, yes.
Okay.
The referee, it was during the match on Thursday, the multi-man match. The ref took a planned ref bump and started to have a seizure, and the people in the ring continued the match. One wrestler rolled him out of the way. I've seen they have asked for the footage to not be shared around, which obviously once it's on the internet, it's on the internet, but don't go out of your way to post it. Somebody sent it to me separately, which is how I thought to begin with. And it was awful to watch. The person who moved him out of the way mid-seizure so he could do his move has made a comment, and he gave his point of view. I don't know how much I buy of that, but Taz also weighed in, and a lot of people have weighed in, especially in indie wrestling.
Yeah, I've seen people weigh in. I saw that there was an incident. I saw that they had issued an apology, but every single person on wrestling Twitter was like, this is AI slop. This is bullshit.
They ran it through. Well, first of all, so the incident happened Thursday. Friday, Al Snow is tweeting the same Waffle House joke that he's tweeted 2 times before over the years. He's fucking around, not addressing it. OVW puts out a statement nearly 24 hours later. Then Al Snow, who owns OVW, who bought it, finally puts out a statement yesterday. Someone ran it through ChatGPT, or like ran it through to see how much it was written by AI. 98% of it was written by ChatGPT.
These people think they're smarter than the internet. I don't know what's wrong with them.
The ChatGPT statement practically blames the referee for it. So yeah, you should have multiple people trained, not just your referee, because when the referee who is trained in CPR and stuff goes down, then nobody else knows what to do. And
that is mad.
They should be so grateful that situation didn't turn out much, much worse. The referee is doing well. He has released a statement. He says he doesn't hold it against anybody, but he is taking time away. But yeah, hopefully this will be a lesson to make
time away and hopefully getting a lawyer.
That's what I was thinking.
That's what I would be doing.
And this carnage. Yeah, because they both try. OVW and Al Snow both try to be like, well,
that's
dangerous.
That's free advice from a nobody.
Wrestling is dangerous, okay, but he was having a seizure and nobody did anything for several minutes.
It is dangerous. It absolutely is. But we all know that wrestling is dangerous. We also know that there are large precautionary measures that can be taken to mitigate injury to the performers and the associated personnel around the ring.
Right.
So get out of here.
Yeah.
F all the way off.
For sure.
Anyway.
Okay. And on that note, now we are ready to bring in our guest. Sorry that you have to. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Allergy season is starting to kick in. So
yeah, it's starting to get warm again.
We are going to bring our guest on. And no, Nikki, I am sorry. It is not you.
It's not Nikki Ordaza?
No.
Dang.
It is the wonderful Power Bombshell and rap leader, Keela Cash.
Yay!
Hello, ladies. Hello, everyone.
Welcome back. I believe this is like your third show in in several weeks, which we are not mad at. You're welcome every week if you want to. But specifically, I asked Keela when a certain 0 hour match was made official. I messaged her and said, would you like to come talk about it? She said, let me rearrange my schedule so that I can be a hater.
And did. I rearranged my schedule. The GH podcast is back tomorrow because I recorded last night. So that's done.
I love it.
How much of a hater do you have to be to record your other podcast early? Just so that you can come hate live. That is dedication.
It is. It is true dedication to rearrange my schedule to do it today for y'all, and then edit later for the Oscars, and then watch Revolution, and then double screen. So
yeah,
it's gonna. The Oscars are on tonight.
I totally at the same time. I knew the Oscars were coming on, but it didn't click that it was at the same time until I saw RJ City talking about he was talking about how the Oscars are on at the same time as Revolution, and he was very upset about it.
Of course he was.
Yes, he was very upset. And the person talking to him was like, say fuck the Oscars. And he just like grimaced, and then he just like very quietly said it. It was great. So poor RJ City. Well, and Keela. I mean, yeah, you probably won't be the only one double screening. We have set it up to record. We want to see the Oscars, but mainly we want to see the Rob Reiner tribute that they're doing. Yeah. And so we've scheduled it to record too, because I told Nikki about that video and she's like, let me set up the Oscars to record so that we can go back and watch it. So, yeah,
I used to be a big watcher. I don't anymore, but I know I have a lot of friends who that's a thing for them. And I know it's been all week. They've been just totally, until you guys just said it, I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Oscar nerds.
They used to do the thing. I always had the issue with WWE would have a pay-per-view the same night as the Grammys. Would often happen, and I would have to, especially because that was the time when we were going to Buffalo Wild Wings to watch pay-per-views, so I would always have to record the Grammys because I would be at wrestling, and so that happened to me often, that I would have the Grammys would be on at the same time. So the Oscars being on the same time as Revolution is definitely not ideal, especially
in the same city, no less. In the same
city. In the same city.
Oh, right, because they're in LA. That's so funny.
Yes, that is right.
Whoa.
Wow, I wasn't even thinking about that. It is the same city. Oh
Dang.
gosh. So that's probably gonna make RJ even more.
Oh, that's like sad. He could like have gone to the Oscars. He can practically touch them. Maybe he'll have like a screen on in Gorilla or something.
Maybe so. Oh, he probably will. I'm sure he'll be watching from his phone or something.
Yeah. That's a bummer.
Counter booking, exactly. Okay, or at least counter booking for RJ City.
Yeah,
Listen,
right.
Tony was a smart man. Like, he knew where to put the show. It's the epicenter of where everything is tonight.
Right.
So.
Yeah. It's in the
And if you're an Oscar hater, you can go watch a wrestling pay-per-view. Because you know that every time there's a major event, there's always that one guy or girl or that one neutral person who has to come out there and make sure that you know that they hate that thing. Like when the Super Bowl is on, and then there's always that one person who's like, I hate the Super Bowl. F the Super Bowl. I'm not watching it. It's like, okay, thanks. Thanks for weighing in. We're all on here. We're having a great day. We're excited for it. But you have to come on here and wreck it. It's the same. It's like, okay, so I'm not an Oscar watcher. I feel no compulsion today to go on the internet and be like,
Right.
F the Oscars. I hate them anyway. They're all stupid and they always vote for the wet people and stuff. So, I mean, like, okay, shut up. Like, why? Why do you have to tell everyone that? I don't understand.
Because
why
they have to be. You need.
They're
to
the
know.
same people that tell me that they're It's the same people that tell you that they're this is the last time I'm posting on Facebook, and I'm deleting my account, and I'm never coming back. Bye.
This is not an airport. You do not have to announce your departure.
You can just go.
Yeah.
It's not a big
Just
deal.
board the plane with everybody else.
This is an Irish goodbye situation.
Exactly.
See, 'tis the season. That's all I gotta tell you. Bounce, okay? We don't need to know. You don't need to. I just think it's funny. I find that amusing in human behavior that no matter what it is, there is always that person on the internet, on the social media, who has to make that declaration. I find it hilarious. That is hilarious, Sam. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I wish I could say it was original, but
I love that you said it because I've never heard it. So you were the one who gave it to me, and that's
you're welcome.
It's like when I am talking to people about health and other insurances, and they're like trying to haggle with me, and I'm like, ma'am, this is not a Target.
No. Nikki says she likes your Cartman voice.
Oh yeah, it's so I used to do it as like a party trick for my friends, and it turns out I'm really good at it. And so this is a funny story because you guys will dig this. So I have a friend, and I may have told you this. I have a friend who I told that I can sing "Oh Holy Night" in Cartman's voice, and I can also do "Come Sail Away." But he's one of my karaoke friends. And I said, well, if you remember at Christmas, I made the cardinal mistake that I should have learned back in childcare when they got me every time of, well, if you remember on Christmas, near Christmas, maybe I'll sing it for you at karaoke. Well, much like when you tell a 5-year-old that you will do something at the end of classes and they are like, you told us we could play with the parachute at the end of classes. I'm like, crap, I did say that. We have to get the parachute out. So that happened to me with Cartman. And I got up and sang "Oh Holy Night" this year in Cartman's voice for my karaoke group. And
fantastic.
It was perfect because the KJ that was there was the younger one who I knew would really, truly appreciate it. That he was the guy that when I said to him, Jared, will you put this in? He would be like, hell yes. So it's very fun that it's gotten to a point where I do that. So yeah, it's Bob will be the first to enjoy it. Sometimes it happens, and I do it. And it's just because I have a high voice. I watched a lot of South Park, and you guys,
hey, it works.
So
Keela,
that's my talent.
There's a question here. Keela, do you have disdain for RJ City?
No, I love RJ City.
Okay. I was like, wait a minute, did I miss something?
Yeah, I was like, I thought she loved RJ.
I love RJ. I adore him.
Yes, maybe you meant. Did you mean QT Marshall? Because I think it's equal for both of us.
Yes.
I was like, wait a minute, did we miss something? Because I was like, I love RJ, and I was like, I mean, Keela's free to not like him, but
I didn't take it as her not like it.
Just wanted to make sure. Okay, I was like, well, maybe I missed something. Maybe I totally misread.
Did I drag RJ City and I did not realize it? I don't remember.
I didn't hear
I don't think so. I didn't take it that way, but
if so, Keela's making it clear she loves RJ City.
Yes, seriously, don't start rumors. The internet's gonna blow up. Everyone's like, they're running to Twitter right now, like, Keela Coates hits RJ City.
Exactly. This is how rumors start. And Curry he meant QT.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, Keela.
I mean,
even on Wednesday in the Discord thread, I kind of nudged it, but I was like, now that they're really leaning into this, I just hoped against hope. When Sam told me, I was quite giddy, actually.
Like, well, we kind of knew it was coming. Like, Keela and I both have been talking about this for a few weeks. Like, as soon as we learned that Big Boom AJ had a match, we were like, oh no.
Yeah.
It's the QT Marshall bat signal.
Yes. It is
wherever there's a Big Boom AJ
or
in your wrestling ring
in the vicinity.
Yeah, in the vicinity of a wrestling ring, QT Marshall is not far behind.
It is a true recession indicator when we see this. So we knew it was only a matter of time that this announcement would be made official.
Yeah, you know what? Are you ready? Let's just put the graphic up. We'll put the graphic back up. And so I sent, when the match was official, I saw it from Carly Bravo, and I sent it to Keela, and I was like, look, I was like, not only were we correct, but I also would like to point out QT Marshall is getting a pay-per-view, his quarterly pay-per-view match during Women's History Month. I just want to put that out there. This match is happening on Women's History Month. For a man.
Of course it is.
Yeah. So there we are. So if you've heard the last few weeks, I am behind on ROH, but I do know a little bit about what's going on. And I saw Carly Bravo tweeting that when he's talking about how QT, trained him, has helped him out a lot. But basically he has no problem beating his ass, which I was like, shout out to you, Carly Bravo, a real one, who will beat QT Marshall's ass. And so apparently, I guess this is how. And then they did do the show. I didn't get a chance to watch the. Thursday night they had their normal Honor Club show, but then Friday they had a show on the ROH YouTube that I have not had a chance to check out. And apparently that's where this match was made official, even though Carly Bravo tweeted it before then. And then also I think JJ Williams was actually the one I sent the link to, so he had posted it. But yes, they did holy airbrush Batman. They did.
They sure did.
AJ looks very AI right now.
I very struggled to find certain graphics for this time, and this was like the best I can do, and I try not to make it too squeeze. I'm like, it's just the way that they made it.
I appreciate you adding the plants to the background.
Yeah, I've been trying to put backgrounds and stuff on there, just making it a little more interesting.
Nikki, Crash said they looking smooth. QT, I don't know. Listen, I don't think QT wears them out his guard. His teeth look like if you watch Friends, the episode where Ross gets his teeth whitened, and they looks like you're looking at the sun. And then also when Ross when it first became popular in the 90s, and so of course they made a show about it where you get the spray tan, and Ross only gets tanned on the one side because he doesn't know when to turn, and so he gets tanned on the same side 4 times. That's what QT Marshall is giving in this graphic, is giving Ross Geller spray tan and teeth.
You just want him to turn around and be white on the back. White. All right, they're wrong. I was like, you should have talked to MJF. What's going on?
Nikki said she couldn't see the background past the airbrush.
Oh, why?
And I see that they have Big Justice in the background, but Rizzler is not there. However, I do want to say I saw a picture. So actually, before I say that, Tony Khan mentioned somebody asked on the media call about Big Boom AJ and like, is that, being the type of celebrity that you bring in. And Tony was like, people forget, like, he has a background in wrestling. Like, he was training to be a wrestler for a while before, he went on to do other things. And so, like, he actually knows what he's doing. He's not just some random celebrity getting in there. And so he put him over. But I saw a picture that Big Boom AJ, Big Justice, and Rizzler were outside the NJPW dojo, the LA dojo. I guess Big Boom AJ went and took some bumps in the dojo, which shout out to him for doing that, because not a lot of celebrity wrestlers are going to do things like that. I don't know if QT Marshall even went into the dojo, but shout out to Big Boom AJ.
Well, all right then. Yeah.
So yeah, they do all look AI for sure.
It's going around.
Curry Head says, can we just have a best of FTR and QT Marshall together video package for Sam and Keela to roast them? Yes.
Okay.
Maybe we should make that happen.
I'll produce that. I'm good with that.
We should.
I'm happy to run the microphone and cameras on that. I just sit back here. You two just go at it. That needs to be done, Frank.
USPA guy says those guys need to stay away from the dojo. Maybe they were just taking a picture outside the sign. Maybe they didn't even go in. Because the picture was in front of the sign, so maybe they just made a field trip and saw where it was at. I don't know. Crash said the infantry looking like they're in a remake of the thing with two heads in that shot. 2 heads and 2 belts.
Yeah, really.
So
I'm gonna go ahead and just like start the rumor that this one wasn't one of RJ's graphics. Someone else from the graphics department. Some intern did this one.
They were probably turned away. So since we have talked about this a little bit, Keela, do you please feel free to give whatever thoughts you have about this match and specifically about QT.
It's an inspiration, truly, to see a man get a quarterly check like this by doing nothing for half of the year. He could just swoop in out of nowhere and get a match on 0 hour. I'm impressed. I truly am. And as Sam mentioned, to do this on Women's History Month is especially egregious, to know that he can get a bag on this month specifically. I wish him nothing but misery and pain tonight. I wish him heartache. I wish him a most thorough ass whooping. But knowing how this is going to go, Boom and Doom is going to give me doom and gloom by winning this match. And I accept that for what it is. I will be in the kitchen cooking while this match is happening. And I'll probably watching Conan open up the Oscars when this match is going down. And it'll be on mute. Because why should I care about this man? Again. And not in the way that Janet Jackson sings about. Not that way. Curryhead would like to know, what are you cooking besides QT? Sam is on a roll today. I already got QT on an open fire on a Weber grill, just scorching him up. But in all seriousness, it's going to be a seafood feast tonight. Got crab cakes on deck, so I'm going to have a good time.
All right, you are going to have a good time.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
Maria, he didn't. He said, "I'm sorry, I haven't heard anything about QT during." And he didn't do anything specifically to a woman that we know about. However, the interview that really set my disdain for this man. He was doing an interview, and it was a few years ago when women in AEW were still struggling to get on TV regularly, to have matches that lasted longer than seven minutes. So it was still around that time frame, maybe a little past. And he was talking about it, and he said, "Oh, well, I see men and women as the same." and just was very blowing it off. Did not give a shit that women were struggling to get matches on TV, and he's like, oh well, I just see them as the same, and it was just the way he said it also really bothered me, and so that has definitely that interview has made me that's where my hatred of QT really comes from.
He literally said, I don't see women wrestlers, I see wrestlers.
Oh, right. Yes. Thank you for clarifying.
That was part of the sentence. That was the sentence that stuck with me because it was very much a Paul Levesque, I don't see color.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
That's exactly how that interview came off to me. It was like, because I heard the interview and I remember when you like showed it, and I was like, they need to never put a microphone in front of QT Marshall in regards to a female ever again after that moment.
Yes.
Because
so for him to have a match during Women's History Month,
right, of course,
particularly egregious.
It just is. I mean, he's a coach. He doesn't need to be on this card. There's so many people could have been on this card. And I mean, I get they're doing the AJ and the
Sabian on there. What's he doing? He's not doing it.
I don't know. Whatever. I guess I'm with you. I mean, this will be I don't have to. Hopefully, it'll be the first match of the night, so I don't have to rush around and try to get the pay-per-view all set up.
Yeah. Nikki said QT said it's a new era of him wrestling on 0 hour. So he says every quarter.
Look at him, Paul Levesquing it up. It's a new era for me every quarter to wrestle. It's a joy. But the reason why I hate QT, besides that comment he made, is the fact he lied to me. He told me that he did not want to be a wrestler and he wanted to train and take a step back. And he lied to me because he told me what he was not going to do anymore. And he reneged. And when he reneged, I said, you know what? F QT for the rest of his life, because I didn't want to see you on my TV anymore. But oh no, you want to come back every quarter and get a check. Kiss my ass.
Yep.
Keela said it. All of that. Yeah. That's why we had a game on our birthday show called Screw Marshall.
I'm bringing that back. I'm bringing that back.
Dude.
It's an annual game. An annual game that we must play.
It will be an annual game for sure. That's definitely going to be
because I'm sure he's going to find more ways. He's going to be on TV and find, if he keeps on
TV, he will inevitably
keep taking up time. This is, and you're putting it, and I get the infantry thing, the storyline, but this is the infantry. Members of STP, who is one of my favorite factions.
Yeah.
I love them. And you're making me have to endure QT Marshall in a match with the infantry, who are the ROH tag team champions. And
which I love for them, but
circumstances.
Nikki said he's like his ass.
I meant it.
I felt it. I felt like
he doesn't see gender, and he's a liar is basically the end.
Yes.
Strike
one, strike
short
two.
Of that, in summation, he doesn't see gender and he lies.
Yes.
Yes.
Egregiously.
Yes.
Just lying sack of crap.
God, wait, is this the title shot, Matt? Is this the match for the titles? Or is this just a match?
No, I think it's just a match.
I think it's just a match.
I hope it's just a match.
I hope it is too. Again, Lord, they may
cool.
not listen. If this is I will not watch it. I will just be like, screw it. I'm not coming back to I'm already behind by 11 episodes. If you put titles on them, I'm not coming back.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like a sound.
I do think it is just a match, and because it is just a match, it probably will be Boom and Doom, which is an insane thing to say, that these two could beat the infantry or anybody. And listen, it's one thing to beat the infantry. If you get in the ring with Shane Taylor, please.
Yes, I need to see something.
I need to see something. It could be it be a 2-on-1 handicap. It's fine. I'd like to see something.
See Shane Taylor just kick his ass all over the ring.
Yes.
Just beat the ever-living crap out of him.
Now that is a pre-show match or any match. It doesn't have to be pre-show. It can be any Honor Club, anything. That is a match I would like to see QT Marshall in.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. See, it's booking, really. It's just as long as it includes him getting his ass kicked all over the ring by someone we enjoy, that's the exception.
Yes. Yes.
So there is a caveat in the there's
yes.
There's a loophole in the contract.
In wrestling, there's always a caveat. And if it is
Correct,
Shane Taylor kicking his ass, then I will take that match.
Yeah, I mean,
Crush, you better stop. Crush said it's an eliminator match.
Well,
an eliminator match they better be getting eliminated from my TV. Grant said, I don't watch already that much, but if that gentleman held a belt, I will boycott that show. Do you want Subscriptions to Honor Club to go down? Put a belt on QT Marshall.
Oh God, listen. Tony has to close up Honor Club if that happens. Put it on YouTube for free in the paywall. Like, listen, free access. With QT with the belt, you don't need to pay anymore. Why would I subject you to pay for that every month? Please.
That's wild. I can't even imagine that as a selling point.
Nikki said eliminated from wrestling forever. Eliminated to the back, sir. Go on back to the Nightmare Factory where you're down there running shows.
Oh, Lord. Must we subject the future of the business to him?
You know what? That's fair. That is fair. That was very wrong of me to do that. I apologize.
Don't put the children of the future in that man's hands of this industry that we love and hold dear. Absolutely not. Let Cody and Pharaoh and Dustin train the future. Liberty has a better shot training those men and women than she does at this point. Please.
She might have to now that Cody died on SmackDown on Friday.
Our condolences to Cody. He had a good life. He did.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. man.
R.I.P. in peace.
If you need services, we can provide them.
Can. We've got you, Cody. If you want the most patriotic funeral you've ever seen in wrestling, we got you.
Red, white, and blue ashes just for you.
Yeah. You can come out and Pharaoh can come. Well, we don't want to scare Pharaoh.
No, we
don't want to scare Pharaoh. Pharaoh's a good boy.
Don't bring the dogs into this. They're innocent.
We can have a picture of Pharaoh. We'll give you a very patriotic send out. We got you.
We'll neck tattoo your urn.
Yes. You know that's gonna be on there. We had yes, Nikki said Wrestle Oops, which is a parody account of Wrestle Ops, posted that Cody died, and people thought it was real and and Nikki, because she was telling me this last night, they were asking Grok, because we were cooked, asking Grok if it was real that Cody died.
Oh my God!
Randy Orton tried his hardest.
He did. He really did. And then
he
Cody was so traumatized. He did a photo shoot in Oraphone.
Traumatized photo shoot that he shot.
I said, look at the aura in this shot. Like, what in the world is going on here? Like, let me sell death but give you a killer mug. Let me give you face and eyes and cheekbone
and blood and like sweat and grime. And he
delivered a shot. This man delivered a glamour shot.
He did
not miss wrestling at WWE.
He straight up did. And it's funny. And this man somehow convinced WWE for his death on Friday. I'm not using a blood capsule. I am blading.
Yes.
Oh.
And he bladed, and that blood was all over. Somebody in chat, they were like, "That is not a blood capsule."
No, that was for the love of the game that he bladed for.
He's like, "Listen, if I'm gonna do this photo shoot, we using real blood. Cry harder. Okay. Cry in a river. We're using real blood."
Cody.
He could put that on a t-shirt and sell it, because like that one shot of him just gazing in the camera, like, sir,
that is gonna be listen, if this was pro wrestling tees, that shirt would already be up.
Sold out immediately.
Yeah, Nikki said it was reading me this stuff, and she said one dude was like, "Isn't that illegal? Like, Randy Orton was gonna go to jail." Nikki said, "No, in WWE, they get people out of murder charges."
They sure do. They're very good at that.
Yes.
Yeah. So Randy Orton knew what he was doing. He's like,
doing
if
that
I'm going to commit murder live on air, I'm doing WWE where nothing's going to happen.
They got the guy that took Brody out. They've got Jimmy Snuka. That's their thing. That's a classic. You're fine in WWE.
Right, you'll be fine.
With who got burnt to a fucking crisp?
The Fiend. The
Thank
Fiend.
you.
Yes. One of my favorite laugh out loud moments in Brian Alvarez's rant goes down as a legendary moment.
Absolutely. That is like,
It's
yes.
perfect.
Yes,
So
that
good.
is like one of those times in the NFL or in sports where a coach says something that like sticks forever, like playoffs or the Bears are who we thought they were. Burnt to a fucking crisp by Ryan Alvarez is one of the most like, because he said it and he was so angry, but he was so punctual on the words. And it's something that, like, as Keela said, well, it'll be a historic, like, I use that one and say it exactly. If I have to use that, I say it like Brian Alvarez.
You have to, with the punctuation
The
mark.
only way. The ononly way. Greg has said no ladies, just major felonies.
True story.
And they'll put your mugshot on a picture.
Oh,
I mean, on a
golly.
shirt too. Like they had that one event. They had one of his fake mugshot that he had. So
Okay,
yeah,
that's
listen.
a little funny. I wouldn't wear it, but it's a little funny.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, if Cody was still selling stuff on pro wrestling tees, that shirt would already be out with him serving face.
Automatically.
Mm-hmm. Probably be a top set. Listen, at this point, because Pro Wrestling Tees no longer has Danhausen merch to survive off of,
Yeah,
they need that Cody
They maybe-
shirt.
They need
maybe.
something.
WWE won't give them any deals, which is why they don't print their shirts. Maybe he could cut him a deal because he's dead.
That'd be a
Maybe
great
we
loaner.
can do that. Maybe we can arrange as part of our funeral service.
Yes.
Oh, there
and
we
you
go.
can
Yeah.
Pro
provide.
Wrestling-
Your
a
end of
Pro
life
Wrestling
tea.
Memorial Tee
Yes,
shirt
your
for
end of life
Cody
tee.
Rhodes.
Merch.
It is. We're like an all-service retirement plan for your funeral as a wrestler. Like we
Yeah.
will send you off in style. Before we
Yeah.
move on, I will say that Randy basically said it should have been Drew. He tried to tell him, like, you know, if this was Drew, he would have died too. But because it's
Right.
you, I have to kill you. I am
Yes.
so sorry.
I cannot help it that we are friends and you posted that picture. And you know what? Randy probably did it because Cody posted that picture of them with Randy had that terrible mustache.
Yes.
And Randy was like, people forgot about that and now you have to die.
Yeah. 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 That had to
I
be
saw
it.
Cody post that. I saw it after the fact, but I saw that picture and I was like, God, I forgot Orton had that terrible mustache.
Yes, the
for a
mustache
minute.
era.
God, it was terrible. So Randy was like, no, you're posting that online. Now you have to die. Perfectly reasonable. Then he's going to sit in the chair with your belt as the show goes off the air, holding his belt across his lap. And he's wearing the black he's wearing the black RKO Everyone shirt. As he and then they showed in the shot, you see Randy Orton and there's like a little, because he has Cody's blood is on his arm. He has a little speck of blood on his cheek.
Yep. There's just a little speck.
A tiny little speck.
A little speck. See,
Well,
Cody
his
should have
arm
known
is
then.
covered in blood.
Yes, but a little speck, just a little speck, little splash.
speck. Yep.
See, Cody should have known then. The man wore a black t-shirt.
Yep.
Trouble.
He is not wearing that blue shirt he's been wearing for weeks. He's not wearing his city specific, because I'm pretty sure Randy had a city specific one when they were in Charlotte recently. I think it was a Hornets one, which was a really cool looking one. So he's been having like the city specific shirts, but not Friday. He came out in a black RKO Everyone shirt, and on the back, Murder Cody Rhodes is probably. He did. Listen, he did push. He did push Jelly Roll.
He pushed him
Jelly Roll.
hard too. He literally halfway yeeted him across the barricade, which I appreciated actually. Like
he did. He also, because I said in Slack, I said this could be you, Bad Bunny.
Did he scream, "Somebody save me"?
Unfortunately, he did not.
Sorry,
He
I had
probably
to.
will. He probably will save that for the pay-per-view match.
I had to.
Because he is rumored. Oh God, Keela, I'm sure you're gonna have a lot to say about that rumor on Monday.
oh Lord, have mercy.
Rumor has it.
Oh
it's
God.
it's a bad rumor.
It's a bad rumor.
You guys
I'm
need to
disappointed.
tune in to the rap.
Live
Yeah.
on Monday. I'm not gonna have
Very
Keela give her
down
thoughts
right
here.
here.
I'm gonna let her save that let her stew
Oh,
for that
Allow
tomorrow
me-
night.
Allow
You
me
will
time to
want-
process it.
I will, yes, because that you need. Yeah, you're gonna have to process
Give
that.
Keela
'Cause I
time to
read that
think
and I
on
was
things. You're
like,
in trouble.
"Man, this has got to be a lie, right? Like we can't really be doing this, but it is
We can't.
WWE. And if we can continue MFTs versus Wyatt past
God.
last night
Oh God.
or Friday night,
Oh.
all right, we're getting off track. I will have. I
Yes.
don't want Keela. I
Revolution.
don't want Keela going into a dark place.
You're
She's
sending me
already
there.
gonna have to deal with this on her own show. We're supposed to be
So
nice
yeah,
and
please make sure you turn into the rap tomorrow night live, so Keela can give give all kinds of thoughts. So please,
right
Lord
here on
help
this
me.
very network. All you have to do is like
Yes.
and hit the subscribe.
Yes.
please do that, and we will bring it back to AEW now.
Yes.
Okay.
We're back to
We're gonna-
regularly scheduled programming.
Threw us off course, and then we had to talk about him dying. So, also on 0 Hour, I was like, this match is only the show's only an hour, but we are going to do a 21-man blackjack battle royale for the AEW National Championship. And instead of doing surprises, they listed like 12 people last night who are going to be in this match. Let me see.
I just assumed that they would, since there's like, what did Jack Perry recently revise the number up to 10,000 or 16,000 members? Why not just have the entire Don Callis family fight this out?
I'm sure they will be.
I mean,
Let me see if I can find.
they literally can field a team of 21.
They literally
Easily.
can. You could just have the Don Callis family battle royale.
That's what I'm saying. I don't understand why they didn't
Easily.
just do that.
Okay, so
Team
yes.
21.
So because they can't keep it to themselves and surprise anybody, I mean, maybe we'll get a surprise or two. But we know so far that Roppongi Vice, this says LFI. Is that all 4 members of LFI are just Roosh and Dralisico? Might just be the 2 of them. Could also be
So that's
Sammy
5.
Guevara and Beast Mortos. Then we have Scorpio Sky, which I'm excited about. Daniel Garcia, Anthony Bowens, the Ops, and Tommaso Ciampa. And then also Jack Perry, because Jack Perry, much like Jay White, is a knife pervert and put his knife in a beam last night and talked about how he's dreamed of wrestling in this arena because he grew up going there front row, and I immediately pictured the picture I think we've all seen of young Jack Perry alongside his late father Luke Perry sitting ringside at a WWE show, and I'm sure they're gonna post that on the internet and probably make me tear up. But I immediately thought of that picture, and he was saying that's what made that going to those shows made him want to be a wrestler, and that it's a dream of his to be able to be in this match and to have this opportunity. And even though I'm so over the Ricochet Jack Perry feud, I gotta want Jack Perry to win now. It's like, oh, you did it. You played on my emotions. Make me, even though I'm tired of this, I want them to move on from each other. Kind of made me want Jack Perry to win that. So Keela, who do you think Ricochet is able to retain? Or do you think they'll do a surprise and do a title change here?
No, I do not foresee a title change in a battle royale involving Ricochet. He will win. Now, I do wonder, is this the match that's going to bleed over into the pay-per-view because of the time? Because you can't rush a battle royal that fast.
I didn't think about that, but I bet this will be the main event of 0 Hour. And yep, that will be because they had kind of gotten away from doing that. It works when you don't overdo it. And I could absolutely see this bleeding over into
And they did it the last pay-per-view, now that you say that, because they did do that last pay-per-view.
They've done several pay-per-views this way.
I like that.
I like it when you don't do it every pay-per-view. Listen, Tony, we know that Dynamite goes over like 14 minutes every week.
Starting the main event 5 minutes into the overrun is really an interesting choice these days.
It is.
I can't decide if this is them like beta testing the 3 hour Dynamite, the rumor that was out there.
Yeah.
Or if he's just doing an overrun because whatever. And because they don't, I actually asked Paul, because I finally got curious enough about it. I was like, is this helping? Like, is the overrun like something that's valuable to them? Like, because that's his, that's his wheelhouse. And he's like, because they don't really release the streaming numbers, there's no way of really knowing if it's valuable or not.
Right.
And it's like, so I don't know.
Yeah.
The only reason I got that bothered me a few weeks back when he did that, where he started the women were main eventing, but he started it in the overrun, and that kind of bugged me. So
yeah, I can see that. Oh,
it was just a little. Whatever.
Collins is here. Hello, Collins. And yes, I wasn't sure I wasn't sure if I could say, but yes, Thursday I will be a guest on Collins on the Rock.
Excellent.
I'm very much looking forward to it. It has been a while since Collins and I have been on a show together, so
I need to make a banner for Collins on our thing so I can plug those shows.
Yes,
I've been like retweeting you guys and stuff.
I'm very much looking forward to it. On Thursday, I will be on there, so definitely come watch if you can hang out with us live. But yes, and so Mel, what are your thoughts? So you think Ricochet is gonna retain his title, or do you think they'll?
So he's fighting in this, right? That's how this goes. Is that he's fighting all these other 20 people against Ricochet, and he's gonna.
And I assume the demand will also be in this match too. Well, I mean, I guess they could still protect him and not be in this match, but it wouldn't surprise me if they are in this match to protect him.
I mean, I don't think it makes much sense where Ricochet stands for him to do a title change. There might be a surprise here, like a return or a new person as one of the entrants, but I don't see that person. I don't even know if that's going to happen, because especially if Ricochet is going to retain, you wouldn't want to bring a new person.
Oh, it wouldn't be the first time that I know.
I'm not saying it wouldn't happen.
How had Juice Robinson not? Well, he technically came back on ROH. Had Juice Robinson not come back on Collision last night, I would have seen him coming back here. I don't know that I would not, if he's healthy. I have no idea what Jay White's health status is. I would not return him here. I think that
not on the pre-show. Absolutely not.
No, I would not. If he's coming back,
yeah, but I'm trying to think of who could potentially come back. My guess actually is Samoa Joe.
Oh,
because he was asked about on Thursday, and Tony gave a very brief answer, which is not like Tony Khan. He did confirm, because the guy said, he was like, he's been out with a concussion. Tony didn't confirm it was a concussion. He just confirmed he's been out injured. And he was like, I can't wait to have him back. And then just kind of ended it there.
Maybe Jack Perry.
I'm wondering if that means, especially because the ops will be here, but then also, but maybe not, because then last night you had Hook cut the promo where Anthony Bowens was like, I'm going to be in this match to prove I'm a killer. And Hook's like, you're not going to be here to help us win. And so perhaps, maybe not. I take that back. I was originally thinking Samoa Joe would return here because of Tony's comment. But now that I think about what Hook said, that would be kind of dumb to have.
Is LA, so I guess there's an outside chance that Jack Perry could upset Ricochet here and end up with that title in his hometown. Now that because I'm sitting here thinking about it, that would be the only person if they were going to do a title change, that seems like the only logical person to do a title change.
Either that or Tommaso.
Or
Tommaso's going to be in it. So
that's fair. But I mean, what they could do is
focus on the TNT title. So maybe probably
Jack
not.
could have the upper hand. The Demand could come in and screw him over and help Ricochet.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if this comes down to Ricochet and Jack Perry. If they're like the final two. Yeah, he did definitely tell Bowens to hold his beer. Juice does have a fierce mullet, and Nikki, she pointed it out before and pointed it out. He has Dustin from Stranger Things haircut. Which is, I know that man was sitting at home watching Stranger Things with Tony. I was like, I want that haircut.
Oh my God, Nikki.
Tony probably gave him that haircut.
I can't see it.
He probably didn't even go to a barber. I bet Tony Storm cut. Listen, she cut Yuta's hair. Hopefully she wet his hair for him this time.
I can totally see it.
Yeah, he does. He has the Dustin hairstyle.
It's so funny. I cannot unsee it now. It's like when Kevin Ely called because there was a period of time where Hangman Page was doing that thing, and Keela may remember this, is that Kevin Ely said that he looked like a youth pastor, and we could not unsee it for like months.
Yes.
Do you want to hear the most? Since we're talking about things we can't unsee, and this is, I almost don't even want to repeat it because, but I saw it on the internet and I sent it to one of the Slacks I'm in, and Josiah was like, "Oh my God, I'm never gonna unsee it." Somebody said that Persephone is a hot Juventud Guerrera.
I saw that. I also cannot unsee it now. I cannot unsee it.
I am so sorry for those of you who do not see that tweet, and now that is what you see.
Okay.
I was like, oh.
The internet is so wild.
Oh my God.
Okay. Now, to cleanse the palate.
Now we have stunned the chat.
I want to cleanse the palate. Now, if I'm looking at Persephone, I see Hoovy a little bit, but I see a more refined and polished version of Jada Parker. I will say that.
Ooh, yes. I see it. I see it.
There you go.
I see that. Thank you for that, Keela.
Yeah, so just cleanse the palate to make it look a bit better than Hoovy, because come on.
Thanks. Yeah.
Crush that this chat is
Chat's got a 404 error right now.
I don't agree. Do you agree with the Jada one or the Juventud or both?
Because we can go hybrid theory as well.
Yes. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Why not?
Right.
It's 2026 and a half or a quarter.
Persephone is phenomenal, and I love her.
Me too.
Yes.
She's so great. But yeah, I saw that and I was like, that is so out of pocket.
It is. It was wrong.
Like, but the replies were like, oh my God, I can see it. Yep.
Yeah. It's a perfect hybrid. It really is.
A hybrid. It is a hybrid.
So wrestling, that's the most wrestling thing in the entire universe.
Right. I hate to admit this. I could see that. I think that's why there was a silence, because we could all see it.
Yes. The curly hair, the charisma, like you could see it.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Oh my. Yes. Let's go on to the next one. I only had a picture here for this, so because they didn't really make a graphic that I could find.
For the TBS,
so what's up, RJ? Where was the graphic on Willow's TBS title?
Like, I don't make the graphics. That he's like, I don't get the All Elite graphic, but I
was led to believe that RJ had graphics control. So.
No, he is. I'm almost positive he is not though. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I don't believe. I know there's somebody named Jeff who runs the social media. I don't know if he also is the one who runs the graphics. But perhaps it is RJ. Maybe it is.
We'll have to talk to Jeff about.
Maybe it is RJ City.
We're giving you free.
And so a couple of people, and I wanted to wait till we got to this. A couple of people think this will be the main event, and this will be what bleeds into the pay-per-view. Is Willow versus Lena Cross for the TBS Championship, which I would prefer.
Yes.
I would prefer that. Curry had said that, and somebody else, I believe in the chat, also said they thought it was going to be this one was going to bleed into the pay-per-view. So Tony talked a bit about this match because Willow is making history. She is the first woman to ever defend two titles on the same pay-per-view. And I believe Amy Nimity pointed out on the call, but she believes the only other time this has happened was when MJF held the tag titles and believe the world title at the same time, and he defended it twice on the same show. So Willow will be the first woman to have ever done that. So shout out to Willow making history once again. Tony says on the call, I don't know if this is, I mean, maybe Willow legitimately does, or if this is Tony kayfabing. But regardless, on the call, he said that Willow was the one who wanted to defend both titles on the show. She wanted to get her lick back on Lena because Lena has attacked her 3 times now, and she has had enough of it. That's why she issued the challenge. And then, of course, because of the match with Megabad, where Lena cost she messed up the match and interfered, and Babes of Wrath did retain. That's obviously why she wants to put him on the line for the second show. Again, maybe Willow really does, or maybe this is Tony kayfabing. Regardless, Willow is making history tonight. And Mel, who do you think takes this match? And then Kilo, the same question to you.
I think, all right, if it bleeds over with Lena Cross, because I'm a little on the fence about this, but I think probably they have to have her hang on to that TBS belt for now. And so I'm going to vote Willow because I believe later in the show they may take the plunge. I don't know that for 100%, but she may or may not have the tag team belt at the end of the night, whereas I feel like she's more likely to have the TBS belt. Unless they're trying to build Lena Cross up because of the circumstances with trying to get her, to just get her in front of people.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. To me, Willow is probably keeping the TBS title for a minute, and that's my opinion. So,
Kilo, what's your thoughts?
I co-sign with Mel. I think that Willow's going to retain this championship. I am leaning towards her saying that we might have a tag team championship change on this show because I don't foresee Willow 2 belts surviving 2 matches. And if someone suggests what I think her head is suggesting, going back to back, then that definitely will not be happening.
Mm-hmm.
Which is good. So Crash says that he's going to take it a step further, and he thinks that after both matches are over, they're going to go with a women's tag match to open the show or be the match that is next. I agree. I do think that I think Willow is retaining here. We'll go ahead and talk about the tag match. I do think that Mega Bad is winning the titles because that was the original plan. Well, first of all, I still believe Mega Bad winning was the original plan way back in the beginning. I don't think Babes of Wrath were ever supposed to be champion because I think the plan was always for Willow to beat Mercedes. But then because of injury, I think, I think that Penelope, that they were supposed to have won when Penelope got injured again a couple of weeks ago. And I think that they're going to, because Tony has said that Penelope could be out a few weeks, it could be a few months. They don't know for sure. I think they're just going to go ahead and have Lena step in, and she's going to show, unfortunately for Penelope, because I know I hate to see that she's not going to be the one to have those titles when they do win them. But Lena Cross is very good, and it's time to get the 2 titles off of Willow and let these tag belts finally be their own thing. And I don't not thrilled with 2 again. And I love Willow; she's great, but 2 of 3 of your women's titles should not be on the same person, especially when one of them is a brand new title that doesn't have any lineage behind it. They are the first ones, and so those titles deserve better than that. And so I hope we're getting a title change here, because if you don't do it now, I don't know when you're going to do it. Let's see. There's something I was going to... Crash says that whichever one comes second, she's going to lose. Well, it'll be the tag title because this is on the pre-show.
This is a 0 hour because they threw this one in there at the last minute. And I was mad about it, but Sam talked me off the ledge and reminded me, was it Jordan Grace?
No, it was Deonna Purrazzo.
But Deonna Purrazzo said that they don't treat the pre-show like a pre-show. They are going out there to pepper. And I mean, it's a great point that she makes about the fact that they don't think of it that way, that they are going out there to warm the crowd up, and they go out and they show out and they do it. And they don't think of it as being on or off the pay-per-views and that's right. So, and since a talent who actually has done the job told that to my co-host Sam in her own words, I'm going to go ahead and defer to the more optimistic point of view that regardless of the TBS title being on there, we've got a women's match. We've got them on the pay-per-view. They are essentially
women's matches tonight. I don't believe has happened, or it's not happened in a really long time that we've had 4 women's matches.
Yeah.
On a pay-per-view.
Yeah, there's a good, yeah. And I mean, we have a really, really solid women's division here in AEW now. So there's almost no excuse to be keeping them off of everything. So, and I mean, maybe, again, they're trying to get, because it seems as though I think we're all leaning this way. We've not got to that match. I can switch to it, but we can get there. But because we're leaning towards some of the other things, I think they're just going to have to pull the trigger with the other thing with Mega.
Yeah.
And I think that's just really, the reality is there. And I think that is good in terms of, because Willow is really going to be able to make that TBS title
Well, and they need to, because she's barely been able to focus on it since she's won it.
Well, and I think she's a great person to have it on because that's someone who can go out. Even that match with Lena Cross, that was a great warm-up match for them. Give you a preview of the two of them that had a New Japan vibe where they're doing sort of the undercard, people interacting because they're going to have a match deal, and I kind of like that. So.
Yeah, and then I haven't seen the Pro Wrestling Eve show, but Willow defended the TBS title against Nina Samuels, who is highly regarded as being one of the best independent talents in general, but also in the UK. And she was doing the belt collector thing before Mercedes was. She had at one point, Nina held 10 titles at one time, I believe, right before Mercedes started hers. So Nina has, and so for her to defend the title against somebody that high of a quality of a talent, I really like, and hopefully she goes and she's defended, because actually Nikki saw it first that Willow responded to Lauren, and I believe she defended in her first title run as TBS champion. She defended it once, and Lauren can correct me. I believe it was against Tam that she defended that title. But that's, I would like to see more of that. And speaking of Lauren, he says he thinks Willow retains Babes of Wrath, loses. They would be foolish to have Willow defend back to back. They didn't do that to MJF when he defended 2 titles on one show.
Fair.
Yeah, it was. Thank you, Lauren. I knew you'd have me. It wasn't Stardom versus Tam Nakano. Yes, and I heard that match was very, very good. Fernando said, "Stop for discriminating against the pre-show." That's basically what Deanna said.
Yeah. Sam talked me down. It's okay. She was totally right. I admitted that she was right.
My brain kicks in where they have trained you to think the pre-show does not matter.
They've done it to me too. It's been institutionalized.
Listen, WWE brain gets me sometimes. So I get it.
It does. They're going to do it to us at WrestleMania because, listen, that is a 1-hour pre-show on ESPN. Please. Yeah, and that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, right.
I was trying to remember earlier, Keela. So they're doing the first hour of each WrestleMania on ESPN, and then you have to watch the rest on the app. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. So it will be on ESPN itself, the first hour of the show, and then I guess the pre-show as well. And then, that's what I thought.
I have ESPN in my Hulu and Disney Plus package, then I should be able to watch it.
Yes, you just have to.
You have to activate the individual ones.
You have to activate it, but yes, because that's how I have it. And then now that I've switched over to Fubo, they sent me an email when I was doing the trial. I was like hours into my trial, and they were like, activate ESPN. The thing that they have, or the app.
Yeah, Verizon's been sending me this stuff like, hey, activate Xfinity too. That's sort of how that happened. But I was like, oh, okay. Is anything on Peacock anymore?
No, just Saturday Night's Main Event.
Okay.
Saturday Night's Main Event. Yep.
Okay, so no.
NBC was like, no, you have to. NBC was like, no, we're getting that. That's why John Cena's final match was on Saturday Night's Main Event, because Peacock wanted it.
Yeah. Like, if you're divorcing us, we don't want nothing but the one show.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes See, I was not. That makes way more sense, and that is wow.
Yeah,
that's an ugly divorce.
It is an ugly divorce, because the divorce technically should not have ended until WrestleMania.
Yeah,
but they won it out early.
Yeah, agreed.
Well, what a landscape we're living in. All right, let's get to the next. What's the next match on this thing?
All right, this is a trios match, but not for any titles. So don't confuse that. There is a trios match for the titles, which we will talk about, but this is not for the titles. This is the Dogs. Now that David Finlay is here, I guess they're also not War Dogs, because one of them is still Drilla is re-signed with New Japan. So I guess that's another reason they're using the Dogs instead of War Dogs. And then they are taking on Darby, who Gabe keeps talking about pushing up daisies, and for a minute I thought Darby and Orange were gonna name themselves Pushing Up Daisies. I was like, this is gonna be their tag team name. Tony is gonna do it. Thankfully he is not. I am not giving you that idea, Tony, if you had not already thought about it, so don't do it. But then we had Wednesday night, we've had so the last few weeks, Orange Cassidy's had the sign, the law sign about Roddy. He'll give you a $15 gift card. People want to know where this gift card is to, if it's worth it. So Roddy did come back. They did a non-believable tease of him joining the dogs. And then, of course, he did not ultimately join them. He maybe is still not an official member of the conglomeration, but since our boy Ishii is injured, the conglomeration needed him, and so Roddy helped out. He helped Orange Cassidy up, and so now he is in this match. Keela, what are your thoughts on this? Who do you think is going to win here?
Well, Darby and Gabe Kidd, the never-ending feud
Oh,
that
God.
won't die ever, apparently, has now upgraded to a trios match, which should be very good. Now, Roderick Strong, my dear, so you don't want to be a part of the conglomeration. You attack Orange Cassidy. You don't apologize, mind you. You don't send a fruit basket. You don't send flowers to make amends for what you did. And now we're tag teaming. Okay. All right. Whatever. Good for you to make amends by doing absolutely nothing. And I do wonder where your loyalties lie. Now, my other important question is, where the hell is Kyle O'Reilly?
That has been my question since I saw him at the C2, and we have not seen him again. And I see him in his Insta stories, and it's usually him with his dog, or he's like out in nature enjoying his life. And
that's lovely.
That's my question. Maybe he comes back in the 21-man battle royal.
Yeah, maybe.
I didn't think of that.
Maybe.
Or come back here. I don't care.
Yes.
I need Kyle O'Reilly back on my TV.
I do too, because the match would make more sense if he was in it.
Yes.
That's
Make
true.
John Moxley quake in his boots before his
Yes.
match with the catch.
Exactly. Like, oh, Kyle's back. Oh shit.
And he's like, why is my knee hurt all of a sudden?
Yeah, right. I need that vacation. I finally need it,
My
Tone.
knees are tingling. I gotta. What's happening?
I have this strange urge to tap.
It's getting close to summer. I gotta take my kid to Cedar Point.
He does have a scooter. See, this is what I have heard. Because I have not bought the Kyle is injured, because John Moxley did the heel thing with an injured opponent and went and stomped on him a bunch. And there's never been any like follow-up from reports saying, there was nothing like from Fightful or anything saying, hey, Kyle is legit hurt. He's going to be out 3 to 6 months. None of that has come out, which is why I still believe. And the theory at the time was they didn't want him in the C2 because John Moxley was doing his thing in the C2, and they didn't want because of Kyle making him tap twice. That was the theory that was going out around. So I don't know that Kyle O'Reilly was actually ever injured because of if he was legitimately injured, I don't know that Mox would have went in and attacked him like you do with fake injuries. And then there was never any follow-up from anybody who would report those type of things, even mentioning Kyle's injury. So I don't know how accurate. I mean, perhaps it is, and they've just kept it under wraps, but they've never mentioned it. So I'm not sure that is a legitimate injury. But maybe we will find out one day if he is here. But Crash says that he wonders if Roddy is truly on side here and if it's all a swerve and that he's actually going to join the War Dogs and turn on them here, which is certainly possible. Fernando believes Roddy is secretly with the Death Riders. Marina said, no, he's not. He ain't this is my group. He ain't here. Yes, Kyle O'Reilly can work his knee and make him tap. I will
only if the previous we already put down the previous requirements for QT. It's only if he's kicking his ass all over the place.
Yes, exactly. No offense, zero offense,
zero.
Yeah,
just the total beat down.
Yes, he does have. Tony does have an annoying habit of cooling talent off after a big moment. Yes, it would make more sense if he was actually injured to pull him off, but because there has never been any follow-up, and because John Moxley did the heel, let me stomp on your arm some more to sell it, makes me not believe it. But I could be wrong. And then I'm going to go. So did we pick who we thought was winning here?
I'm picking the dogs. I foresee a turn. I don't trust Roddy. Why would anyone trust Roddy? Honestly.
Well, you know what? Roddy might be pissed off that he was only that Orange Cassidy only offered $15 gift card for him. And
He says, "I'm at least worth 25."
Oh, right, exactly, and make it to
you
a
buy
good
15
place.
anyway these days.
Yeah. So maybe, and then actually, I want to. So Mel, who do you think is going to win this match?
Yeah, I mean, I think it makes a little more sense to let the dogs are new. They're trying to establish them. I feel like they need a win here. Orange Cassidy can lose. It's not like going to hurt him or anything. So, I mean, I think that the whole Roddy being neutral evil right now, like, really just makes me think that he could do anything, and that could really end up. I mean,
yeah.
I did wonder though, like if Jay White comes back, do the War Dogs and the Bullet Club Gold have to duke it out here in AEW like they did a la New Japan?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes, because I don't think Jay White's gonna, because David Finlay's whole thing was, if you're dumb enough to leave me, I'm taking your spot and taking everything you're leaving behind. And now he has followed him across an entire ocean.
So we can. So I don't. So you guys are on board then in the future that there's a battle royale between the War Dogs and Bullet Club Gold
eventually
for ultimate Bullet Club supremacy in AEW.
Yes, I think that's happening at some point. And if we have some time, whenever Kenny is not taking crazy PTO to go play video games in another country, we will eventually, I would like to see Kenny versus Jay versus David Finlay, because we have the three leaders of the Bullet Club. And since AJ is getting inducted into the Hall of Fame, and I guess he's not allowed in AEW, Triple H said they are not doing Kenny Omega versus Jay White versus AJ Styles versus David Finlay. I will not have that on my watch.
That will not be happening at All In. Do you hear me? That won't be going down in Wembley, not on my watch. Go in this Hall of Fame and train the future, because you ain't going there.
Even Nick Nemeth admitted that he, at the end of his contract, before he signed his last one with WWE, he gave them some big crazy number, and they were like, okay. And he said they didn't specifically say it, but it was kind of a wink of like, you're not going to AEW. We'll pay you this insane amount of money you're asking for. And he got his money, left, or he finished out his contract, went to New Japan, had some matches, and is now in TNA, and he's doing all kinds of, and he's been the champion over in TNA, and he is wrestling indies and doing all kinds of shit, and he made bank. So good for you, Nick Nemeth, on playing them and getting the bag.
I applaud it. And then when he came back, I think last year for the Cena tournament, he reminded everybody, like, I still got it, but I'm not coming back here. Wink, wink. Right. I'm good. I'm at peace.
I got my paycheck. I'm gone.
But see, they're more careful with AJ, because there's no way on this flat earth that Paul Levesque is going to let that happen.
Yeah, no way on this flat earth. No. And before, Lauren, I see your comment. I'm going to get to that in 1 second. Somebody, USVA guy, asked way back in the chat when we were talking about something else about Gabe Kidd's comments about New Japan and what we thought of them. I think that this is his gimmick now, because he hates New Japan. I don't believe him. And as Josiah pointed out to me, he's eventually probably going to get a title shot against Tsuji, probably setting up a Forbidden Door match.
He's too good of friends with Tanahashi, I feel like.
I don't buy it. I don't buy any of it. I was like, oh, this is what we're doing now.
Tana's like his mentor. Like,
yeah,
you could call him up tomorrow, and Gabe Kidd would be on a flight to freaking Tokyo.
I don't buy it. I think he's going into the G1. I think he'll represent AEW in the G1.
Yeah, you know what? You're probably right.
That's why he's saying what he's saying. He'll probably wrestle. Maybe not at Forbidden Door. Maybe they'll do Tsuji versus Gabe Kidd in the G1 at some point. And Gabe will probably get the win to set up something else later on. And I was like, Tsuji doesn't necessarily even need the title for them to have this match. But yeah, I think it's all just Gabe is setting up G1 probably. Yeah. Maybe for Forbidden Door.
Especially since they're kicking it off here in America.
Yep.
So
tickets go on sale next Saturday. Or apparently if you're on some special thing, which I am not, you can get them on Friday. But tickets are going on sale Saturday morning.
I will talk to my people.
Yes. I'm still planning. Yeah, I will definitely be looking at
next Saturday. You said
Saturday at 10 a.m. on the 21st.
21st. Okay, I will write myself a note to remind myself because yeah.
And then let me go back to this comment from Laurent because actually I didn't. I saw it, but we were coming on air and I didn't get to read it. Laurent said that he thinks the same thing happened with Santos Escobar. Absolutely did. He resigned. That they resigned. Have not used him since. Apparently, there was a select update about him earlier that says yes, he is still in WWE. Okay, so it says after a performance at AAA this weekend, outlets ran with a false report that Santos was quietly moved to the alumni section of the website. That isn't true whatsoever, as Escobar has been on that section since his contract originally expired last year. He re-signed shortly after and was never moved back to the roster page. It says regarding questions about his performance at AAA, we haven't heard anything that contributed to that specifically. We did hear in recent weeks that Escobar wished that he was used better and would actually be utilized. Oh, imagine that. Escobar was fine with leaving WWE if he needed to originally, but WWE made a big play to sign him. At the time, it was claimed in WWE that he was signed for an amount that would have been irresponsible to not have him featured on WWE TV. He's expected to continue to work in AAA. There was a lot of talk coming out of this weekend's AAA event with what one AAA talent called a lethargic performance from Escobar. Oh, so he having buyer's remorse. That's what that sounds like. USDA guy says it's not really about what Gabe truly believes. That's the perception. The Japanese fans are livid right now. Which is then he's doing his job. Gabe is doing his job then. If he has pissed off the Japanese fans, that's what that's for. That he's definitely, then it will come into play if he is, assuming he's in the G1, then the Japanese fans are going to be pissed to see him there and hope he loses, and then he's probably going to win a bunch of matches. And then it will set up him versus Tsuji, even if it's in the G1, perhaps Forbidden Door or another show later. So then it sounds like Gabe Kidd is doing his job if he's pissed them off. At least that's my take on it. If that's the case, then I don't know if that's necessarily the right thing to do, but I'm not a fan of his, so I don't really care one way or another, but that's what it sounds like. All right, well, here's a match that we have already talked about.
Kind of previewed. I think we have already given our pick on this one.
We've given our pick on the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championship. Babes of Wrath defending their titles against Mega Bad, or as someone in the chat said, Megan Powers. We have Megan Vane versus Lena Cross, and we, if you tuned in a few minutes late, then you miss us all say that we think that Mega Bad is winning here, and yes, they did airbrush the hell out of this one too. All of these
some of these were very airbrushy, the way that whatever this style was that they did for this year's graphics, they're a little weird.
That's they also, it's like when Kilo and I were talking about a couple weeks ago, they airbrushed the hell out of AJ Styles on his his Hall of Fame.
It's starting to make me think that they're using AI and not humans.
Yeah.
And they're running it through. Mm-hmm.
It just is, because when it looks like that, it starts to give you the robot vibe. And because so many places and so much of the market right now is laying people off in 5-figure numbers, where they're just going to they're replacing those people with computers or with AIs. So, I mean, if you think about it from a multi-billion-dollar or million-dollar corporation standpoint, it cost me way less money to plug in what I need, the information-wise, pictures and so forth, than it would to have a graphic designer sit behind the computer and do something thoughtful with it. So I think, sadly, I
can pour out so many water bottles.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's so bad for everything. But they're not going back. And I mean, that's, like I said, from the economics point of view, because of where we are, the way that the market people are talking is like, we can't go backwards because it will mess us up. So they're committed. Like, That's happening. It makes me a little sad because the more I even am staring at it, you guys, I put this together yesterday and I wasn't really noticing it as hard. I was just kind of noticing that I was struggling to find good graphics, and then they picked this weird scheme and I'm like, wait a minute. Did they just type in like Punky Brewster background with
Cyberpunk
caution tape and cityscape, and then they put all the pictures of the wrestlers in there? I'm like, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think my AI buddies would not, or my graphic designer friends would be. Isn't there like a subreddit? It's like bad graphic design or something.
I'm sure there is.
There definitely is, but whatever. Anyway,
okay, so I think we're all unanimous that.
I just think that they, regardless of what happened with Penelope, I think at this point, because they have to do something with Megan Bayne, and they gave her a viable partner and everything else, and I think the reason is that they know they need to pull the trigger on getting these titles onto Megan Bayne and whoever she's wrestling with.
Yes,
and they wanted to give Penelope the opportunity, but luck is luck, and she had bad luck. Yeah. Hopefully in the future she will be able to come back and actually have
and Tony really put her over. Besides Willow, he really put over Megan Bayne. And he was talking about how Megan, because she wrestled back on I think Elevation. And then he pointed out, she was injured herself and she went through a lot of injuries, and he kept his eye on her and what she was doing. He's wanted to sign Megan Bayne for a long time. And then, she obviously, after her injury, she was in Stardom, and he said that she's proved because Penelope's been injured, and then she had to compete with Marina Shafir, and then she competed with Penelope again, and then Penelope got injured, and now she's here with Lena. And he was talking about how obviously she's physically strong, but that also she's clearly mentally strong as well, having to go through her own injury and then deal with an injured partner and try to keep going. So he was talking about how he thinks Megan is the best that she's ever been. And so he had a lot of praise for Megan on the call on Thursday.
She's great. They have to do something with her. They can't they really do. I mean, they kind of can't not do this at this point.
Yep.
And it's just bad. I mean, it's bad timing and poor luck, unfortunately. And I kind of agree. Unfortunately, once you repeatedly injure the same thing, it really does have a bad habit of creating a problem for that thing long term when you're athletically, in my experience, both as an athlete, but also with friends, because I played on multiple teams for such a long time.
Yeah.
It makes it trickier.
Yeah.
As we all say, once we've all injured something, it's never been the same.
Right.
All right. Next one. What's good?
Oh, we got, here's one of the few fancy posters they made.
Yeah, this one is way nicer. At least.
So we have Toni Storm, who a year ago was having the true main event of Revolution with the Hollywood ending. And now we've seen the way she's progressed. And I was thinking about the promo she cut last night, because Marina has obviously thrown out that she's a clown and things like that. So she's cutting this promo about the circus. And I was thinking about how last year was all the Hollywood things, and then how the circus, I guess, kind of ties into that and is similar because it's, obviously it's performing. And she was talking about how Marina, snarls in her cage, but she, at the end of the day, who cracks the whip, and who, she's just a performer just like the rest of them. And I thought it was a really interesting juxtaposition to where she was a year ago and where Toni is still one of the best promos in the business. And she still can, no matter what she's doing, and she's charismatic. And yes, she can do these tag matches with Orange Cassidy that are really entertaining. And she can be in a tag team with Mina Shirakawa. And those are all great. But Toni obviously is still a star no matter what she does, and I'm glad to see her in a singles match here. And shout out to Marina for getting, being in this position. Marina said in her own promo that she went to Toni Storm a year ago and asked her for advice, and Toni told her, keep doing what you're doing, stay in your lane, and don't change a thing. And to have that come from somebody of Toni Storm's stature, to say that about you, I think I can only imagine how much that probably meant to Marina. And she's been working this storyline, and she's been doing all these things. And obviously she's, Jon Moxley speaks very highly of her. I haven't had a chance to watch the up close interview that he did with Renee. But I did see a clip where he's talking about each member of the Death Riders, and he's talking about how important Marina is to the Death Riders. And I feel like he has to have faith from those two who are flag bearers for AEW, to have that type of faith in you, I think speaks volumes. And so to see Marina get a pay-per-view match finally, and she's only had very few singles matches, to have her, this is going to be huge for her. A lot of pressure, obviously, but I think if anybody can help carry, not necessarily carry her, but I mean, we all know what Tony does in the ring, and to have, I think Marina, that's huge for her. Her first pay-per-view match is to be in the ring with Toni Storm, which I think is a huge thing. So, Keila, what do you think of this match, and who do you think wins?
I am looking forward to this match. I have loved the build for the most part. We've had this feud going on for quite some time. Perfect place to blow it off in Hollywood. Very fitting for timeless Toni Storm. Mm-hmm. I really appreciate Marina, her presence and her drive to improve and get better and not shrink in the big moments. She's always present. She's always self-aware, and she's game for tonight. And Toni is the right person to be in the ring with, to bring out that intensity, that drama, that physicality. I'm torn on, do you want to make a star tonight? Right. Or do you want to stay safe? And I think that Toni should take a gamble, both Tonys, and let's roll the dice on Marina tonight. I'm pulling for Marina.
Oh, wow. Mel, what are your thoughts?
Well, I like that you're saying that, but I don't know if I agree with you. I would love to see Marina pull this one out, but I do think that the nature of, and she got a promo last night. She's starting to warm up a little bit, really get like a few extra words in. I mean,
and also everybody is banned from ringside. So it is just Toni and Marina and nobody else. Nobody is going to come. No Death Rider interferences, no Luther, no Mina.
See, when you say it and then you remind me of that, and it makes me think that I kind of agree with Keila that I think both Tonys should take a gamble, because Toni Storm could put Marina over huge here, and there won't be anybody helping Marina, so they won't be able to say that she won using the Death Riders as a crutch. She clearly, and I mean, this is hard. Maybe I'm gonna pull for Marina on this one, but I'm not gonna be surprised if they give it to Toni. I still think it's gonna be, this match could really be one of the sleepers on the card, honestly.
Yeah,
there's a chance that it could be way better than people think it could be.
I think so too. Keila made a very good case.
She sure did.
Especially because I go back to Toni didn't pull the trigger with Megan Bayne and have Megan Bayne upset Toni Storm and win the title from her. And that's something that people have questioned ever since. Was that the right choice? I mean, obviously for storyline reasons and what they eventually ended up doing, I guess Toni winning was the right case. But they had all the momentum in the world right there. This is a non-title match. Marina is going to do more. It would do more for Marina to win this match than it would be for Toni. Toni is not going to be hurt losing to Marina Shafir, who is a former UFC fighter. Like, this is a legitimately tough, badass woman. Like, it's not like she would, I'm sure some people are going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe Toni Storm lost to Marina Shafir. Well, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know ball. I don't think it hurts Toni to lose. I mean, I went into this thinking, yes, Toni Storm is probably going to get the win here because it's Toni Storm. And maybe, but the one thing I just literally remembered this as we were talking about it, when Toni made the match, she threw in randomly, I'm coming for my women's title. So she clearly wants that. That's because it seemed out of place because of where she threw it into the promo. And then, of course, we talked about how Marina accepts during the men's main event on commentary that she accepts the match, which was a really weird thing. So I'm torn because Toni clearly wants to get back in the title picture. Fernando makes a really good point. Toni wins and then challenges the winner of Chris versus Tekla. Do they put Toni back in the title picture that soon? Possibly. But then do you have her, like, how do we do this? Like, do you have, that would be hard to not have Tony beat whoever that is. And if Chris gets the title back, I don't know how, I mean, that's obviously a lot of what ifs in this scenario. I would say because this is non-title, Marina should win. It would do more for her here. Will Tony Khan do that? I think Tony Storm would have no problem losing
I agree with
Marina
that.
Shafir. If she has say in the outcome of this match, I don't think she has a problem. It's Tony Khan that I'm worried about. I think Marina makes the most sense. I think that it's huge for her. It legitimizes her even more than she already is. There's no title involved here, but if Tony is trying to get back on track to get into the title picture, I wonder if they do have her win here. And also because Tony is going to play it safe. So I am torn. I guess that's not a real, I guess it's not really an answer because I think I agree that I want it to be Marina. I don't trust Tony Khan to let that happen.
Yeah.
All right. So the next match is for basically, I guess, is who's the most dangerous man in AEW. Is it Brody King or is it Swerve Strickland? Obviously, Brody has got, which is what I asked about on the media call, Brody has gotten a ton of attention in mainstream media. People who don't normally pay attention to wrestling are paying attention because of the Fuck Ice chants, which I assume will be very loud tonight in LA because they are a city that has been heavily affected by ice more than most. And I believe Brody is from I want to say is Brody from the area? No, he's from, does he live in LA? Can't remember if this is basically going to be like a hometown match for him. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm blanking. That could be wrong. Anyway. So yeah, then we see Swerve put a chain around Brody's neck and Brody broke it, which was crazy. So Keila, what are your thoughts here? Who do you think takes it?
Well, I expect this to be a very heated match. The F-Ice chant's going to go crazy during this match for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Brody's going to be super over. Swerve, I think the fans are going to be split because I think a lot of fans still love Swerve despite the recent heel turn. Should be very heated, physical. At times, violent match can't be too violent because of the main event, obviously. But I'm going to go with Swerve because they're trying to build him up to be in the World Championship picture again. Against two, that'll be a great question. And I do think he's going to play a role in that main event.
Okay. Yeah. I can see that. Mel, what are your thoughts here?
I was going to pick Brody because he's very hot right now. He's been doing a lot of crazy stuff. But it is hard to make that argument because of the whole thing, what Keila just said. But I don't know. I'm going to pick Brody just as my bold prediction on this one because I kind of like it. I do agree, though, and I can't wait. And I hope that they make themselves known because I think that I thought your question was really a good question when you asked Tony about this very thing. And I think that the fact that solidarity is being shown because of a person, this is going to be a good one. This is going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be a really stupid hot match.
Yeah, I think this match is going to be fantastic. I think it's going to be better than people. Like, I think on paper, people realize, like, yeah, this will be a good one, but I think it's going to deliver even more because I think they both have a lot to prove because Brody is getting this mainstream attention. He did lose his match and he lost at Grand Slam. I feel like Brody wants to stay in, he wants people to keep talking about him. And, we've talked about before, like, you're clearly not going to give him the world title, then put the national title on him or the continental title or one of the other 58 titles you have. Put it on Brody. Let him still be getting the attention he's getting. Don't slow down that momentum. However, like Keila said, Swerve is the one that he needs this win. I don't want to say more than Brody because Brody definitely could use this one, especially over somebody like Swerve, who was a former world champion. But with however they're building Swerve, even if he doesn't get involved in the main event, I mean, he could get pissed that he lost and take it out, or he could be riding that high. I think Swerve wins here. And there were a couple of comments. Kenny Omega will not be getting involved in this match.
I think he corrected
Kenny is still in. Yes, he did. Well, somebody else said it too.
Oh, okay.
Kenny is still in Japan doing the gaming convention, which is why he was written off TV in the first place. So there will be no Kenny Omega here unless there's some magic flight that he stayed up for. And
he took some PTBGO.
Yeah. Yeah, and then yes, Maria also points out Swerve just turned heel. He needs the win, which yes.
Yeah, you guys are probably right.
Yes. So
this is going to be a good match. I'm really excited.
No, it isn't. It's not a work. There's been video of. Why is this comment not popping up?
Doesn't like you.
Apparently not. Listen, Mercury retrograde. Wait, that's still not it. Kenny is. It's not been a work. There's been footage of Kenny. Kenny's been tweeting from Japan. He's been posting on his Instagram.
There's no way that man would miss a video game conference that he was.
Well, he actually was trying to get out of it because when he made the commitment to be there, he didn't know it was going to be the same weekend as Revolution because Revolution had not been announced yet and had not been told to talent even prior. Like, here's your schedule of events for the year. Like when he took that, because he apparently booked it months ago. And he tried to get out of it, but couldn't because of the contract that he signed to be there. And so he's been doing that. And so he, unless he took the Hulk Hogan fight, Kenny will most likely, maybe that's the swerve. Maybe Kenny will somehow, he took the Hulk Hogan fight and he'll be there.
I mean, it would be wild.
Yeah. Yeah, the Crash is right. This is going to be a violent match. Because they're gonna play up the most dangerous person in AEW. I think this will be a really violent match.
Yes, indeed.
All right. So speaking of, we talked about Andrade a bit before the show. This is a match between Bandito a few weeks ago saw Brody was getting a match and was like, I want one too. And he is still. Even though I'm behind on ROH, I know he is still the ROH World Champion. I don't even know the last time he's defended that title off the top of my head. But he is still ROH. He's apparently coming for Athena and maybe he's going to try to be, he wants to be, actually everybody should try to be like Athena. So Bandito is trying to be Athena and just taking this title and holding it for as long as he can. And also Nick Wayne, who I asked about at Final Battle, I saw he's finally, now that he's back on ROH, he's finally defending his title next week. And he's talking about how he's been champion for 331 days and how he was injured for a chunk of it. I was like, a chunk of it? Like half of it. You were injured from July and didn't come back until like 2 weeks ago. But anyway, so Bandito is wrestling Andrade. Bandito has talked about how he's always looked up to Andrade. This match means a lot to him personally. It means a lot to him as a Mexican wrestler. It means a lot to him as a luchador. Andrade is kind of, it's like, oh, that's cute. And pat him on the head type of thing is kind of how he's been responding to it. So, Mel, what do you think about this match and who do you think takes it?
I think Andrade is winning this. I think where they're going with him right now, what they're doing to build him. I know that I do think it will be an excellent match. I think these two are both really good. Andrade is probably the best he's been in a long time. So I think it's going to be a tough match, but I think because they're pushing Andrade right now, I think this was more about getting a really good luchador in there for him to beat and someone that people take seriously. And Bandito can take losses too because he's just so good. It doesn't matter who he wrestles. So I'm tending towards Andrade for me. That's where I'm at.
Keila, what are your thoughts on this one?
This is a show-stealing match alert. I think this match is going to be absolutely incredible. Andrade's been on fire since officially joining AEW. Bandito is fantastic in every way, in every facet as a performer. So I am foreseeing Andrade getting the W. I think he has a hot hand right now. They're trying to push him consistently by winning, and I think this match could absolutely steal the show. if given time and put on a good spot on the card, because we know the show's going to run long and match placement is going to be key to get the desired heat for these matches.
Yeah, it's a great point.
Sure. Crash said first he said Battle of the Pecs in this one, and then Incredible Pecker instead of the Incredible.
So what you're saying, Crash, you can bounce a quarter off those pecs.
Go get that one, MJF. I hear MJF has a quarter.
He always does. Dang.
Oh God. It's like, wait a minute, I have to put these up here because this is distracting.
That's pretty funny.
I need to share this with the class.
You guys rule.
Yeah, I think that this is going to be a really, really good match. I do think, like you said, time placement on the card and how much time they had. Somebody in the comments did say that given how stacked this show is, they wouldn't mind this being more of a sprint to set up a rematch, which is fair, especially they have not announced anything, but if they do like a Grand Slam Mexico again, like that would be a perfect place to have a rematch of that show. And also I remembered as Mel was talking, Andrade also told Bandito to fly his grandmother out so that they could take a picture together.
Wow. This man has zero chill. Watch him take his pants off in front of her.
Right? You know he will. If grandma is ringside, Lord, please put Gravity out there with grandma.
Yes.
Man, seriously, that's no good.
Go put Gravity out there with her. Yeah, I think this match could definitely be, I mean, I could almost be at the end of the night that this might be added to a match of the year contenders list. I think because, like you said, Andrade has been, now that he seems locked in and is not focused on going back to another company, or at least at this moment. Who knows? 2 months from now we could be talking about something completely different. But as of right now, yes, Andrade is very locked in. He is having incredible matches every time he goes out. As Don Callis, I think it was said on commentary, he has 6'7" body fat. Like, I think he's trying to say 6 to 7% body fat, but the way he said it, and I was like, I hope Don Callis was doing his hands when he said it. But he looks incredible. But also, if you've listened to the show, you know that I am a huge fan of Bandito. He was tied, besides Takeshita, he was tied for my wrestler of the year. Every time he goes out there, he has incredible matches. He can wrestle any style. He's very, very good at what he does. He's having probably some of the best time of his career right now, which Andrade seems to be having as well. But because of what we're doing with Andrade is going to win. But it's going to be fantastic. Yeah. Jordan is saying has the potential to be one of the best matches of the decade.
Ooh, you're using that Don Callis exaggeration.
Yes.
It could be the best match in 10,000 years.
You sounded just like Don just now.
That was weird.
That was very weird, Mel. That was disturbing, actually. How spot on that was.
It just came out. I don't know. I might have to work on it. Maybe it's not just Cartman. Maybe I can. Then you guys can start chanting F Don Callis at me and we can have fun with it.
That was eerie.
That was weird. I didn't do it on purpose.
The cadence, the intonation of that, it was good. I'm actually horrified. Is it the hat?
We might need to.
Maybe that leprechaun had more going on than I realized.
It's a sorting hat for voices.
There we go. We might need to clip that. We're at 2:17, so probably around 2:16, 2:15. If you want to timestamp that and then clip it so you can play it whenever we talk about Don Callis. This is a really good. I like this too. That Andrade can wrestle MJF at Grand Slam Mexico as the babyface.
I like that
because they hate some MJF down there.
Yeah, they love.
He gets a real heel. He gets a real.
They love hating him. I think he loves how much they hate him. It's amazing.
Yeah. Yes. He does. Nikki said yes. Play it like the 69 Me Don clip.
There you go. Let's see here. Let's get this up here. Like this.
Here is the trios match I was talking about way back at the beginning. Speaking of luchadors, we have
that's right here. That were good soul.
I mean, it works because they're talking about the Don Callis family.
Right there. Nikki said it.
Yeah. That's why that clip is there, just so we can bust it out at any given
time.
It's there. This match is gonna be incredible. I'm gonna. So we have the legendary Mystico is coming in. Hangman Page basically handpicked him since he's busy with the world title, and he feels bad that they lost the trios. He feels like he was kind of distracted, and he wants Mystico to be the one to step in for him. I would like to know what they will call this trio if they win this title. But have Mystico and Jet Speed. And I would like to point out, I don't know if it will come into play here. Swerve is trying to get in Kevin Knight's head, trying to pull out his greatness, but also planting seeds of a heel turn. Do those seeds come to fruition tonight? Do we see a little bit more of it tonight? Maybe not a full one. Do we just see a little bit of, hey, Kevin Knight wouldn't normally act like that? What is happening here? And then you have on the other side of the ring the new champion, which is O'Cussy. What are the names Kyle Fletcher threw out? You have Aussie Open with Okada, which is what an insane statement is. Aussie Open and Okada are trio champions in AEW. And just somebody, and I talked about this, I think last week, somebody was like, for the people complaining about this match, like let's not pretend like this is the whole point of having wrestling matches, is so that you can have Mystico tag with Jet Speed against Okada, Kyle Fletcher, and Mark Davis. Like, this is basically a dream match that we're just randomly getting on a Revolution for a trios championship. So Mel, what are your thoughts on this one, and who do you think takes it?
I am very excited because I love all of these people. I love the Okada Kyle Fletcher beef, but I think that they bury the hatchet tonight, and for lack of a better way of putting it, and because there is a little bit of tension with Kevin Knight's, wanting to be the now and kind of focusing more on himself. And I think because I think Kyle and Okada are on their way to maybe breaking ties with the Don Callis situation, because I think that sooner or later these guys are going to get tired of, because they're the kind of wrestlers where it's like, I don't need your help to win anymore. Like, stop coming out and messing around. So I do potentially see that, and I think that they'll probably retain tonight. I still think it's going to be a phenomenal match because there's no one in this match that's not good.
Right.
I mean, like you said, it's Aussie Open already knows what they're doing. Kevin Knight, and so Jet Speed has been doing a really good job. And then you just tossed in Mystico and Okada on top of that. And it's just like, there's no bad person in this match.
No, not at all.
But I do think they retain tonight.
Keila, what are your thoughts?
This is going to be a great match. Another potential show stealer. Holy airbrush Batman, this poster. First of all, I'm just looking at Okada's face.
Like marshmallows.
Like, oh my God, Okada's face.
Like, Okada has great skin, but this is a bit much.
This man is translucent right now. Not a pore to be found on that face. But in any event, I think this match is going to be fantastic. Always good to see Mystico in AEW to be teaming with Jet Speed. Should be a lot of fun as well. I do not foresee a title change. I think that the heels will retain the championship. Kyle and Okada will be on the same page tonight. They will get along. But trust me, Kyle does have another lover on the side.
Sure,
and this is not his final boss lover. No.
It is not. It is not. I'm so looking forward to this match because I love all six of them. I tend to agree. I think Don Callis, because of the story they've been telling, I think Don Callis, the Don Callis family will win. Especially it's going to play more into this Kyle Fletcher being torn between lovers. Between Okada and Takeshita. What a lucky bitch.
I mean, two pretty men, pretty talented men.
Sky Blue. I mean,
yes,
yeah.
Kyle
Come
Fletcher
on.
is very lucky. I mean, and let's even though he is not in his Mark Davis is his really his true love, I think. like God, that they've traveled the world together and for a really long time, and I think he has a special place in his heart for Mark Davis. And so, but somebody, even though I do think the Don Callis family wins, there was a really interesting comment here from where did it go? That Kevin Knight and Speedball do work in CMLL regularly, so it's far from a foregone conclusion.
Fair.
And you could potentially have them win and then go to CMLL and defend those titles there. So that is a very good point that I had not considered. So I would not be mad at it. But Don Callis is retaining, or Don Callis family is retaining. But I like that a lot. Actually, I would really like that. I like that a lot. Jordan says this is a match I would make in a video game, and we get to see it in real life. Maria thinks the Don Callis family wins. The big man says, I think Mystico should get the pin here. It'd be kind of interesting if he basically forces Speedball and Knight to stay together. Ooh, that's an interesting play. Jordan said he's heard twice this week about a Kevin Knight heel turn on Bailey, but he still thinks, I think Jet Speed has plenty of juice too. However, I definitely foresee Kevin
something
Knight
happening.
Whether that's, and it'll be interesting to the timing because I'm also curious if both or one of them will be in BOSJ. And if that plays into it, does Kevin Knight turn on Mike Bailey and then go off to Japan and compete? Or does Speedball does he get turned on? And so Speedball goes and licks his wounds in Japan for a little bit while Kevin tears up the solo scene. So there's a lot of different ways this can play out. And I'm not ready for Jet Speed to break up, but I know it's going to be good when it does because those two they're so good, and being able to see them having these singles matches recently is just a reminder of how good they are separately and how good they are together. So Fernando predicts that Kevin Knight will turn on Bailey tonight. Crash says, I'm marking out on this one, and I want L Jet Speed to win, just so we get maybe more of Mystico and AEW. Yeah, the more Mystico, the better. Enough. Yes, every time we get Kyle and Speedball in the same match is magic. Yeah, Kyle and Speedball had a fucking banger the other night. It's on my match of the year's contender list. I pulled my phone out right after. Nikki said, smooth but make it rugged with this picture. Sure
yes, he did. He said, listen, what you gonna do is give me some ruggedness, a beard, and you're gonna show me like the purest, cleanest skin.
Yeah, right. Yes, exactly. Because let's not forget, under that beard, Mark Davis is a very handsome man. I mean, he's handsome with the beard too, but without the beard, he's
very handsome.
He's a very handsome boy.
Yeah, we do. We love Dougzilla in this house. All right.
Let's pray. Let us pray.
Triggered over here. We're going from talking about Mark Davis.
I know. It had to happen. We had to get here.
I guess at least you eased me. I was gonna say you eased me into it, but you didn't. You just throw it up there.
I know, but we can't. We gotta go.
Mark Davis. Let's throw a picture of FTR in our face.
I know. I'm sorry. Try to look on the right side of the picture.
I will try to look at the right side. Or Stoke, who
there you go. Or focus on Stoke.
Stoke is apparently elevated from his wheelchair to be in this shot back
He's
here.
the king of FTR right there.
Yes. The one thing that makes FTR bearable is
Chat GPT doing your graphics.
But so we have the Young Bucks who won the three-way match a few weeks ago to take this to get this number one contendership against FTR. Both tag teams are 3-time World Tag Team Champions. Should the Young Bucks win, they would be the first 4-time tag team champions in AEW. Mel, what are your thoughts on this one, and who do you think takes it?
I want the Bucks to win, but I have a terrible feeling that they're not going to. And I think it'll be good. I don't think it'll be good as like 10 years ago FTR and Bucks. because the FTR situation is very played out for me. I'm not, again, like, they've got to get on the pay-per-view. They've got to get their paycheck. They
got to get their half-hour match.
They have to. And I know, but I believe in the Young Bucks, and I don't think FTR is going to necessarily slack it or anything. It's just, I'm not like overwhelmed for this match. So my heart wants the Bucks to win, but unfortunately, I don't think Tony's going to give me what I want tonight. I don't.
Before I ask Keela, I'm going to pop this up here because I didn't want to put it up while Mel was talking and then distract her. But how dare you? I was like, let me wait till Mel finishes. I don't want to pop that up. Crash said that Mel is risking cancellation. You're so brave.
So, thank you. No,
thank you for your braveness and your courageous.
Hey, someone's got to do
it. Keela, what are your thoughts on this one?
Well, first of all, Dax is eyeballing you, Sam, in this picture. He's like staring daggers through you right now, like saying, how dare you talk about me? Like, you don't want to see us work. You don't want to see us win. You don't want to see us grind and succeed. And Nicholas is over here looking very angry, like very upset. Like they got him mean mugging, like he is going vampire on us right now.
He is.
Love the visual. But in all seriousness, this poster's giving more than the match. And I love both teams. And I do. But we got this, 5 years ago? And it was a blessing to see it. And I feel like, can they top it? They might surprise us. But I felt like I got everything I wanted with them the first go around years ago. And I don't think they can duplicate it. I think it'll be a very good match. I do sense shenanigans with Cope and Cage coming back potentially to get their pound of flesh, and maybe Beth will tombstone power drive Stokes in the wheelchair. Maybe potentially. I'm cool with that. But should be a very good match. Should even be great. But I feel like I've seen this match and I loved it the first time, and nothing can take away the specialness and that love letter they gave us the first time.
Wrestling,
yeah.
So aside from my hate of FTR and wanting them to lose purely because I hate them,
my
hatred is fueling me here.
This is the only time that Sam gets. It's one of the few times she gets dark side on things, and she has good reasons. So.
Fernandez says the Rock and Roll Express versus the Midnight Express 2.0.
2.0.
I have a friend who calls them the mid capital MID Night Express is what he calls them.
Oh, nice.
I have not posted it yet, but Let Them Wrestle is a website that's run by some friends of mine that I haven't written for in a few years, but I did write for them. My friend was like, hey, here's a list of content. Do you want to write about one? And I said, sure, I can come up with 3 reasons for the Young Bucks to beat FTR. And I said, and one of my reasons will not be because I hate FTR. I will come up with a legitimate reason. So I meant to post it before the show. It's in my drafts. I'll post it. But I'm basically going to give you a preview of what it says. I think, of course, there's the Cope and Christian thing, which we talked about. And I still think that could definitely come into play, especially because Dynasty is next month and it's in Vancouver. So that definitely, I can see that. But barring that, I think that the Young Bucks should win because you are giving them a redemption story. You've given them this redemption arc. They went from the broke bucks. They have realized that they were assholes and they went on a kind of an apology tour for some of the people backstage and said, we were really shitty to you. I'm sorry that we were acting like that. And so they've been on this apology tour. They've had at Full Gear, they helped Kenny Omega. They hugged Jack Perry, or they helped Jack Perry. I think it was Jurassic Express and Jack Perry. Jurassic Express and Kenny Omega, rather. And the Young Bucks helped. They hugged Kenny after the match. We've got the Elite back together. I think if you're doing there, especially because you did the redemption arc with Hangman Page, where we saw him and he comes full circle and he wins the title. I feel like you have to do that with the Young Bucks here. You've given them, they've been on this redemption arc. And so I think having them win the titles, become the first ever 4-time tag team champions, because Dax keeps pressing on that lately about how they're the better tag team. The Young Bucks were good 10 years ago, not so much now. Maybe if they're lucky, they'll be considered the number 2 tag team of all time, and I wanted to punch him through my screen. But also, this match is happening in the Young Bucks' backyard. They are from California. They are not far from their home. To give them the win, to have them make history as the first time four-time champions, to do it in their hometown, and to have them complete their redemption arc. It makes perfect sense to have the Young Bucks win tonight. I would not do it later. I think this is where we do it. Perhaps instead of Cope and Christian wrestling FTR, the dream match for, I think, a lot of people is the Young Bucks and Cope and Christian, because they are both the best tag teams of their generation. Edge or one of the best. Edge and Christian are definitely one of the best. They're right up there with the Hardy Boys, but they changed tag team wrestling in the 90s, early 2000s, and then of course the Young Bucks come along behind it. And for me, that is more of a dream match than FTR versus Cope and Christian. And I would rather, if they're doing, I think Wembley is the place to do it, but they could do it wherever. And of course, there is the dynasty thing. There is the stuff between Cope and Christian and FTR and Beth and all that. And I do think that has to get resolved at some point. So do they come in? Maybe they come in, maybe they cost FTR the titles. I would like, if the Young Bucks are winning tonight, I'd like them to win clean, because I think they can win clean. I think they could beat FTR in 2026 with no problem. As far as they could do it clean, but there is that. But I am going, and I know FTR also has a ton of heel heat on them, especially, that was another thing. They attacked Mama and Papa Buck front row just a few weeks ago. They pulled Malachi, their younger brother, over the barricade and did a pile driver in front of them while the Demand held them in place. And Ricochet delivered a spirit gun to Jack Perry so that he could not get involved. And so I think that they're baby faces, but they're going to want revenge for what they did to their baby brother and to their parents. So I feel like if you're going to do it, tonight is the night for all of those reasons. And so I'm going with the Young Bucks here. And also fuck FTR. I just wanted to get that in. So before we get to the next match, I'll pull up some comments. I don't have, it's not the bald. I mean, yes, I do prefer long hair, but I just hate Dax.
No, it's more of a local beef. So
yeah, I had that. Yeah. I mean, I didn't like them in WWE, but then they did what they did to my friends, and the hate just has been real ever since. So, let's see here. So I think there's kind of going back and forth that the Young Bucks have been really good since then. Crash says Sam will move the earth to ensure the Bucks are victorious. Their next AEW media call is going to get real salty, Tony. You have been forewarned.
There it is.
There we go. Let's see. Big Man says, I might be wrong, but has anyone lost a high-profile act lost a match in their hometown or pay-per-view recently? It almost never happened, so I assume the Bucks win. No, I'm sure it has, but nothing comes to mind off the top of my head that they've had a big match like that where they've lost in their hometown. And so Big Man says that he thinks the Bucks will win and Cope and Christian will likely be the next champions. Crash said he doesn't know. It sounds like wishful thinking to him. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm just, you know what? I'm just going to be delusional all through the match if I have to be. Nikki said she laid out a whole novel. Listen, I just gave you the quick notes version of the article that I wrote. But you still have to read it. They still need views.
Yeah, see, we want people to read Sam's work. So.
Yeah, so you still have to read it. Nikki said after what they do to our friends, my hate will fester forever. Yes, definitely. Nikki said she's a Cancer and she doesn't forget stuff, and I am a Scorpio and can be vengeful when I want to be. So, so you're welcome, FTR. Good luck with that.
All right, next one.
Please get them off my screen.
Yes, there you go. They're off.
Oh, stop looking at me. All right, so another airbrushed AF picture,
Yeah,
especially
sorry
on
about
John
his
Moxley's
airbrushed.
bald head.
Weird.
That is
Oh
not
my gosh, I
that
didn't
is
even
not that
notice
man.
that. He's
I
like
didn't notice it
he's
till
like phased into the building.
he is glaring at somebody
Apparently
for
he's a
using.
mutant now.
He's glaring at whoever is putting AI on him.
He's like, who put me in this terrible, terrible graphic?
Yes.
He's giving them the side. That's the John Moxley side eye right there.
Yeah, you're on his list. His shit
You
list.
are.
So John Moxley is wrestling Konosuke Takeshita for the AEW Continental Champion. That means nobody ringside. No Don Callis can be down there. No Death Riders, because we're contesting it under Continental Championship rules. It is a no time limit, since obviously their banger of a match went to a time limit draw in Australia. John Moxley heard the fans booing, told the ref to let Konosuke Takeshita get in his Raging Fire. Referee went and told him that. They shoved each other, and Takeshita delivered the Raging Fire, and the fans cheered. So John Moxley knows what he's doing. He loves this business. And so this is no time limit draw. There has to be a win, or no time limit here. Sorry, no time limit here. There has to be a winner. Kilo, what are your thoughts, and who do you think takes it?
All righty. First of all, that is not Mox. That is not him. No.
That's not even Dean Ambrose.
That is not even Dean Ambrose. I don't know who that man is. That is AI. That is an AI picture of someone that is supposed to be Moxley. Tateshka looks like Tateshka, so I'll give them that.
Even though Crash says he lost his chin, Takeshita lost his chin.
Yeah,
he is kind of chinless. He's missing his chin.
He does have a square.
They both look like unfinished avatars, where you were starting a game where you could create your own Abby, but then decided that you were bored and just walked away.
You gave up.
Mm-hmm.
You gave up on the hair.
Yeah,
you gave up on the features.
This looks all wrong. I want to try again later.
Oh, okay. So I think that this match, outside of the main event, will probably be the best match on the show. No time limit. They're going to go out there and have a hell of a match. You're going to have like nail biting near falls, high drama. You're in Hollywood. Of course, you got to do it. And I am going to pick Tateshka for the dub. Not for the family, but for himself.
Yeah. Right. Make that very clear. LeBron says 60 minutes for a continental title match on a pay-per-view isn't enough. No time limit for this match is diabolical.
Yeah.
Mel, what are your thoughts here?
I mean, it does kind of give you those Kenny Omega Okada vibes in terms of like, what is the score between them? Are they tied? Who has the more wins? Can you remember?
That's a good question. I don't know if anybody knows off the top of their head, but I'll see if I can't find
it. All right, but I mean, I guess so. Without knowing that, I mean, I tend towards Taka because I just think that, like you said it, Moxley knows what he's doing, and this is just going to be such a good match. I don't know if I care who wins, but I do think Takeshita is going to get that belt back because I think Moxley has other things to do with his Death Riders group there, and so. But geez, this is going to be a match.
Yes. Okay. This actually may have it because, shout out to Sam Palmer at Wrestling Inc. who did a watch list of John Moxley versus Takeshita. Let me see if it says here. Over the past 4 years, Moxley and Takeshita have crossed paths multiple times, with a total of 5 singles matches taking place between the two men. Does not say what the record is. It just says Moxley is naturally the heavy favorite to win going into the ring, but the alpha has grown and matured over time to the point where he hasn't lost to John Moxley in nearly 2 years. And that's part of the reason John Moxley is obsessed with him.
Interesting.
And also, one of the things I think that stood out when John Moxley was talking about Takeshita is he was like, I don't know him, but when we got in the ring together, I knew him. Like, he is basically one of his wrestling soulmates. That's basically what Moxley was getting at. That once they got in they don't know each other well outside of the ring, but once they're in the ring, they know each other very well. I think this match is going to be incredible. I wonder, because it is no time limit, how early in the card you do this match, because I don't think that this is necessarily something you could do late in the show, especially when the main event is a Texas death match. So I don't know that you can open a show with a no time, depending on how long this no time limit match is going to go. I mean, I don't know that it's going to go Broadway. It's because it's a pay-per-view. I don't know that it's going to go an entire hour. So do you open Revolution with this match or put it on like second or third and space it out? And I think you have to give, no matter where it goes on the card, you have to give it enough time away from the Texas death match. So that'll be interesting. And it depends on I guess it also depends on if the 0 hour matches cross over into the 8 o'clock hour for this. I go back and forth. Takeshita makes the most sense. Again, Takeshita is one of my favorite wrestlers. I love Jon Moxley. I love this man. I think he is phenomenal. But Takeshita is also, like I said, he was one of my wrestlers of the year last year because of the body of work that he's put on in multiple promotions last year. And so Don Callis' family's whole thing, well, I take that back. Okada's whole thing is Takeshita doesn't have a title. Takeshita doesn't have a title. We have titles. He doesn't. But Takeshita does have a title. He has the New Japan TV title, but I guess that's not good enough for Okada. So that's kind of been the thing. So does Takeshita finally win the title to shut Okada up? Perhaps. But also, can Jon Moxley, what happens to Jon Moxley if he's not the champion? What happens to the Death Riders? Are we ready to find out that story? Because Jon Moxley has been more of a babyface since he's had this title, where the rest of the Death Riders are not babyfaces. Maybe they're kind of, depending on, maybe they're kind of tweeners to an extent. But so that's the other question is if Jon Moxley this title has pretty much saved him from the Death Riders turning on him. Is that still the case? If he drops this title, what happens to the Death Riders? Is it time to oust him? Is that still something they want to do? What if Marina gets the win and Jon Moxley doesn't? And I'm saying this as I'm thinking about it. So that would be a really interesting thing is what if Marina wins her match and Jon Moxley loses and he loses his title? Just how long before Marina kicks him out and takes over? But he is the one who has fought for her to be in the position she's in. So that's a really interesting thing too. So there's a lot at play other than just the match and the two men in this ring. And Jon Moxley has been a phenomenal Continental Champion. He has done title eliminator matches. He's defended that title. He's a workhorse. This man is probably never going to take the vacation that he was supposed to have a couple of years ago. And as Renee pointed out, and he even said it too, if he could wrestle 365 days straight, he would. And Jon Moxley doesn't need the title to be great. Neither does Takeshita for that matter. And this is a very long-winded response to say, I don't know. I think I went into this thinking Takeshita, but I don't know if they're ready to tell that story of what happens to Jon Moxley without that title. Maybe it is time. I mean, this has been a very long story. Or Fernando has it figured out that Roddy is going to replace Jon Moxley as the leader of the Death Riders. Yeah, so Jon Moxley has had some really great matches. Yeah, I don't know if I should. I have coming into this was going with Takeshita, but now I think I don't know if I've talked myself. Looking at both of these, it makes all the sense in the world for Jon Moxley to retain and to continue being the Continental Champion, but also Takeshita's just so you could have two belt Takeshita here. So I'm going back and forth on this one, which I know is a cop out, but I don't know because I have talked myself into not knowing.
There you go.
All right. And so the next match is for the AEW Women's World Championship. Chris Statlander is the one who decided she made this dip 2 out of 3 falls. And then Tekla goes on TV last week and was like, no. She said no like 15 times and was like, the challenger doesn't get to make the stipulation. We're not doing 2 out of 3 falls. She cuts this promo. They immediately pop up the graphics saying, yes, it is a 2 out of 3 falls match. So I don't know why. I don't know what the point of that was, other than I guess Tekla really does not want a 2 out of 3 falls match. So last night at Collision, we see Triangle of Madness wrestle. They wrestled 3 women, which was interesting because it was Viva Van, who was under AEW contract. Tadavik is also under AEW contract. Charisma is not. Charisma was the only one in the match. And she got beat in like a little over a minute. And then afterwards, Tekla is being Tekla, diabolical, cutting this promo. And Stat comes out, takes her belt off, throws it at Tekla's feet, daring her to hit her with it. And Tekla, being Tekla, she whips her on the back repeatedly. Stat stumbles the 3rd time, eventually gets back up, and this makes Tekla mad. Tekla hits her from behind, knocks her down, just continues to beat her. And then Tekla leaves, and Stat grabs the microphone and says she needs to be worried about Tekla needs to fear what lengths she will go to keep Chris Statlander down. Really added a nice little layer to this match. Mel, what are your thoughts on this match, and who do you think wins here?
I think that Tekla is probably retaining on this one. I don't know why they would give it to Tekla and then give it back to Stat, and I mean that quickly. Doesn't mean they won't, but I think that Tekla is something of a really good. I think this is about Stat overcoming the odds, and I think that part of her journey might be losing this to continue to do that. I think she's starting to. It's a little tricky, but like she's really over while she's doing what she was doing last night. So maybe she needs to keep doing more of that, where she's like being the tough guy. But I mean, I'm gonna pick Tekla for now because it seems like that would be a really short run, and I'm not sure how I feel about that. I guess.
All right, Kayla, what are your thoughts here?
Well, I am also torn like Mel in some respects because I do love Chris, and a title switch could happen, but you're also trying to build Tekla up. You had her win on Dynamite a few weeks ago, and they're running this match back again as we figured they would to blow it off, hopefully, and we have a clear winner here. I think it should be very good. The key for me is going to be match placement and heat. And that's been an issue with some AEW Women's Championship matches as of late. Placement, heat, or lack thereof. And the women go out there and put on a great match, but it does not have heat. So I'm hoping that this match has a crowd that can get behind it. Tekla is so charismatic and super over as a character and a worker, and Chris is right there with her. They have the makings of having a very special match tonight, but it's going to be contingent on where it's on the card, and that is my concern, because it might not get the heat and love it deserves until after the fact.
That's a great point.
Yeah, that's a really, really great point. I am hopeful that because of where this match is happening, that no matter where it is on the card, hopefully the LA crowd shows them some love. But that you are correct that match placement for the women's title has been an issue as of late. And how long does a 2 out of 3 falls match get? You have to give them the time. So where again, that goes back to match placement. You can't do Takeshita versus Moxley in a no time limit match and then immediately follow it with a 2 out of 3.
Right.
Like you can't do that. You have to separate, and they do try to separate title matches out, but because this card is so stacked, it's going to be harder. So I think that definitely plays into it. I do think Tekla is retaining here. I think that Stat is still trying to figure out who she is in the ring. She's talked about it. I think that's part of the reason she lost the title, because she has not been able to be able to combine all the pieces. Like all the pieces are there. She just has not put it all together yet. And I think she needs time away from the title to figure out who she is and then, make a run for it again. I think Tekla, I was reading an interview with her last night, and Tekla was talking about how she became AEW Women's World Champion in 8 months. That's phenomenal. It also shows that they think a lot about Tekla. I think Tekla retains here. I think this match is going to get really violent, which I think is good for both of them. I think that's something that Stat excels at, but I think Tekla can too. I think this should be a really, really great match, but I think Tekla retains. I don't know how soon you introduce Tony back into the title picture. She has, she did mention in her promo last week that she is looking for the title. I probably wouldn't do it so soon. But I think Tekla wins here, but I think this should be a really great match, and I hope it gets the time and the placement that it deserves. There was a couple comments that I wanted to bring up before we move on to the next one. LaRon makes a really good point that he wants to add in match length as well. 2 out of 3 falls match should get no less than 20 minutes, and he would do this match earlier in the night. Maria says that she thinks Stat struggles to get heat for most of her matches. Big Man Dog says it's kind of inevitable when the show isn't following traditional pacing conventions where it slowly ramps up. The women's matches tend to be sacrificed in the dead zones. Yes, they do. Fernando thinks this should open the show. Also, Big Man Dog thinks the same thing. Crash said Tequila that he absolutely agrees with you. LaRon says, shouldn't Jen Pepperman be able to help her with that? She doesn't work with Mercedes, especially with Mercedes not there at the moment. That is a good question, and I don't know who Chris listens to.
Hard to know.
So perhaps she should. She just, I mean, like I said, she's got all the pieces there. She's just got to figure out, like, how do you combine the Cosmic Killer and Stat Daddy? Fans seem to respond more to the Stat Daddy side of things than they do the Cosmic Killer, but it seems like she also wants to pay homage to what got her here. She was the alien on the Indies. It's what got her noticed by AEW, and it feels like she wants to, have those roots too and figure out how to combine. I think if she can figure out how to combine both of those in a authentic way, I think she'll be fine. And I think Chris will be I think
she should just turn herself into a predator. She'll be fine.
Yeah. And so I think she'll be champion, but I think she needs to be away from the title for a bit to figure that out. I think this needs, once she loses this match, I think they need to get her out of the title picture for just a little bit, just so she can kind of figure things out and figure out who she is as a character. But yeah, I think if it's given the time that it deserves, this should be a really, really good match. And Crash says he still feels like this is a mid-feud and not a culmination.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see why people would feel that way. Yeah. All right. We're finally there.
All right. So this is our main event match. That we have MJF screwed himself over by trying to flip a gimmick quarter. And he played himself and now has a Texas death match because that's what Hangman wanted. This is Hangman's signature match. He has actually lost a couple of them, but they have, especially in his first title run, this was what he was doing. I think most people associate Texas death with Hangman Page now. MJF did not want this match. He wanted a normal match. He's been very vocal about that in interviews he's given this week. And then Hangman, as we've talked about many times, pulled out the Cody stip. If he loses this match, he will not challenge for the AEW World Championship again. We've talked about ways that they could eventually get around that if they want to. Or is he going to be 20-time TNT champion? And we've talked, and people, I appreciate them acknowledging that Cody did this and it did not work out for him. And JF has mentioned it. Tony mentioned it on the call the other day because Seahawk asked about it. And so this is our main event. And I want to see, I don't know if the tweet has moved. I saw something about, so this Revolution has sold out. They are bringing in $1 million gate. MJF tweeted this picture and put sold out over top of it. And I saw a tweet here. Yeah, it says attendance for MJF Hangman Page one-on-one matches. AEW Revolution 2026. There's been 12,200 plus tickets. Forbidden Door obviously was a bigger venue, so it was 17,615. And then at Revolution 2025, it was 11,670. So they are clearly a draw. This is the story that they've also been. I really appreciate that they've been building up. That this is, the two of them have been around since day one. This is a thing. This is 6 years in the making. These are, Tony talked about it on the media call, that these were guys that they had all these high expectations, and they have met those expectations. Both of them have become world champions. They have become two huge draws for the company. Somebody had asked last year, they opened Revolution last year. This year they're closing it. Somebody asked if that was on purpose or happenstance. Tony did what Tony does and didn't quite answer. He didn't quite answer it, but he did say that he always felt that MJF and Hangman could main event a big pay-per-view in a big venue. So it sounds like perhaps this was it Revolution, maybe or maybe not. But that is where it falls this year. Kilo, what are your thoughts on this match? Who do you think wins?
This is a tough one. The stipulation is the one that gives me the most pause. And you have to adhere to it. You can't get cute. And the workarounds is, of course, the Owen. He can't get in the Owen. He can't. If he does not win this match, he can't just get in a tournament and then get a title shot. So you have to stick to it. And if he's a heel, of course, you can find a way out of it. But they know what the Cody stip means. It means that if you don't win this match, you don't get the challenge for this championship ever again. And it did not work well for Cody. He booked himself in the corner and never recovered. That's why he's in WWE today. I don't foresee Hangman making a similar decision in 2 to 3 years. I do sense a swerve. If you caught that coming. And I foresee someone helping Hangman get the victory because he's owed a favor at some point. Because let's not forget, both men despise MJF. So I got Hangman winning this match.
Okay. Mel, what do you think?
Well, first off, I want to say that this is the best version of MJF so far. I wish that this is the MJF that we had in all of the other MJF title runs. He can wrestle. He can cut promos without using low-hanging fruit. He can get out there and do fun stuff. This has been the best MJF run, in my opinion, because he's wrestled. And he can wrestle, and it's always driven me crazy. It's been the thing we've complained about the whole time. Is that he doesn't have to use body shaming and fruit off the ground, rotting fruit off the ground, because he's a smart wrestler and a smart promo guy. And so in that vein, I've really enjoyed this one. That being said, if Hangman loses this, I will have a mental breakdown myself, because that Cody step, he may as well get the freaking neck tattoo and just put us both out of our
misery. They get murdered by Randy Orton.
Yes. Maybe we should have Randy standing by backstage.
The Viper is waiting.
Yeah, it's seriously. I mean, I gotta believe that they did this so that Hanger's getting this back, and I do agree. I think that there is a very, very good chance that Swerve intervenes in this match, because it seems like perfect, and it keeps Hangman and Swerve don't need to be on TV all the time to continue whatever they have going on between them. So that's something you can go back to anytime you need it if something falls apart. It's just like, we'll just bring Swerve and Hangman back out, and they're still feuding. They're still beefing. I mean, the dude burnt Swerve's childhood home down. Like, let's be real here. So, yeah, I want to believe and have to believe, because I need to believe that Hangman wins this match, but that's where I'm going with that.
I will agree. This run has been fantastic for MJF. We've seen him, not only is he defending the title in AEW, he has taken it elsewhere. He has defended it on the Indies a couple of times as well. He has really put himself into this where he has. Cam Hawkins at Seahawk had a really great interview with him, and he was talking about, he was really putting over the locker room and the upper and all the people who challenge him, and he was like, we have all these great people up top, and he was like, but it also sucks for me because all these people are coming for me. And we talked about it a few weeks ago, he admitted that his last title reign, especially after Adam Cole got injured was the drizzling shits were his words. He is correct. So I appreciate that he recognized that, and he seems to have really tried to rectify this time. And I believe he said that when he was champion for 406 days, he only defended the title 10 times. And he's had this title since World's End and has already defended it half that amount of times. Like, he's already wrestled more, he's already wrestled half of what he did in his last title reign. So I don't know. I go back and forth with this too. I think MJF retaining makes a ton of sense, but because of that stupid stipulation, Hangman has to win. I mean, we talked about the ways he could get around it. Yes, there's the Owen. Perhaps he wins the Casino Battle Royale. Maybe the champion faces it. Maybe the champion's like, you know what? Screw your stupid thing. I want this to be for the title. That's probably very slim to happen, but there are ways that they could eventually get around it. If this is driving Hangman to turn heel, it would make sense for him to lose. I still don't. You don't have to have the stipulation to do that. Somebody in the chat said that they saw someone else mention that Kenny Omega is an EVP and he could reverse it, which is, that's a fair point too. So I don't think this will turn out the way that it did for Cody. I assume if they have made Hangman make this challenge, there is a plan in place at some point. Is that 3 years from now? Is it 5 years? I don't quite know where they're going with this, which leads me to, I mean, the way this happened and the way Hangman was talking, like, it has to be Hangman. Like, Hangman has to win this match, and it's a Texas death match. But on the other side, if MJF beats him in his signature match for the title, not only to retain the title, but to prevent him from ever challenging again, like, can you imagine what that's going to do to Hangman Page? But then there is the Swerve factor. Swerve wants that title. Swerve has beaten Hangman. Not that I don't think Swerve thinks he can't beat MJF, but Swerve knows he can beat Hangman. Mm-hmm. And maybe that's a risk he's willing to take. Maybe he helps Hangman retain that title so he can be the one to take it off of him. Because as we've been talking about for weeks now, Will Ospreay is in this picture. Will Ospreay will be world champion this year. I absolutely think it's happening at Wembley. I think he's going to win that title at All In. He's going to get the big feel-good win, especially after what happened this past week. He probably needs it even more now because of all of the bullshit that was going, and self-imposed, I will add. That was, that it's his fault that he's getting the reaction that he's getting offline. He did it to himself. But I still, at some point, Will Ospreay is coming back. I do think Will Ospreay is coming back tonight somehow. I don't know that he necessarily interferes in this match. The reason I think he comes back tonight is because when he signed with AEW, his first official match as an AEW wrestler was at Revolution, which is why I think he's coming back tonight, even though they have stopped playing the vignettes. So hopefully, his recovery is going the way that it should. So I don't know if Will Ospreay gets involved here, but at some point, as far as just the title picture goes, Hangman is who is Will Ospreay beating? Is he beating Hangman Page? A heel Hangman Page? Is he beating Swerve for that title? You could have the MJF story, but MJF would have to be, there's a lot of people gunning for that title. So but they have also been doing short title reigns. Hangman's second title reign was really short. Samoa Joe's was even shorter. MJF could have a short title reign. Hangman could have another short title reign, and then they put it on Swerve, and then Swerve has a short title reign until Ospreay gets it. That could be a route that they're going. So I'm going to go with Hangman here. I don't know if he wins it clean. I don't know if Swerve helps him. But I think I'm going to go with Hangman here. Sweet. And then I guess we'll go to, so since we've been doing these, I'll get some people in the in the comments and what they think is going to happen here. Nikki said she likes this MJF way better. Mox and MJF have been great fighting champions. Absolutely. Honestly, I think this might be the best AEW World title run ever up until this point. Michael is talking about the women. Says that he hopes Mercedes' eventual return means better booking for the women because sheesh. Jordan has said MJF said he wanted this reign to be about setting a standard. Big Man Dogs thinks that MJF is 100% winning. He doesn't have any doubt. Nikki said they want Hangman to spiral again, probably. Big Man said, given how commercially successful MJF's run has been, the only way he drops it is if he's hurt. A lot of people think that Ospreay will make an appearance. I'm right there with them.
Sam's people.
I've been saying that for 2 months now.
It's me. I'm people.
Yes, I am people. Crash makes this point. The thing is with Swerve is if he's the number one contender as a heel, unlikely to be MJF versus Swerve, heel versus heel. I mean, maybe, but Tony doesn't always play by that. He's been shown to, and I think MJF, while he's heel, he's more likable than he's ever been. Is he more likable than heel Swerve? That's the question. But people are cheering heel Swerve, even though he put Omega through a table. So
Swerve is,
but yes, MJF is killing it, and so yes. With that, what do you, Keela, I'm going to ask you first. What do you think is going to be the sleeper match of the night?
Sleeper match of the night is going to go to Tony Storm and Marina Shafir.
All right, Mel, what about you?
I'm going to give this one to the Swerve Strickland Brody King match, potentially, because I think that's going to be an ass kicker, and I like that kind of match.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, Keela really convinced me on this Tony Storm.
Yeah, you're right, though. I mean, that is definitely going to be my honorable mention.
I think that's really good. I think Brody and Swerve is going to be really good. I don't know if it would be considered a sleeper, but
Yeah,
I think
fair.
Andrade versus Bandito is going to be.
Yeah, that's
going to be looking at
there's
this card.
so many matches.
There are so many matches.
Like, and they're all good. Like,
and then in that same vein, Keela, what do you think is going to be match of the night?
Ooh, tough. So I'm going to think it's going to be Andrade and Bandito, or most likely Moxley versus Tateshko, or gotta do 3 ors here, the main event. Because like lights on bright, MJF is going to ball out. Hangman, this is a specialty match. If the heat's there, that's the key. The pacing of this show is going to be so important to make sure they can get to the finish line.
Yeah. Mel, what do you think is going to be match of the night?
I honestly do believe that it's the Takeshita match. I think that the Mox Takeshita match is going to be a freaking banger. I think that those two don't understand how to do, and like when he said it, he said the same thing about Suzuki and those two.
I won't put that up there. Nikki's distracting everybody in chat.
That's all right, but yeah, I think that it's between that, and I think the Keela said the main event. I think that the main event is gonna be a main event.
I think I'm gonna, because I do think Bandito and Andrade, I think that could be match of the night. I don't think it's so much a sleeper. I want to change my sleeper. I think my sleeper match may actually be the trios match between Mystico and Jet Speed versus Aussie Open and Okada. I think that might be a sleeper. I think that's going to end up being a really, really good one. As far as the match of the night, I think it's going to be either Takeshita and Jon Moxley or Hangman and MJF, even though there's so many good matches, but probably those two. I do think that I am really excited for Marina and Tony now that we've talked about, now that Keela has, I was already looking forward to the match, but now you have sold it. Big Man says that he thinks the War Dogs 3-way could be a sleeper. Nikki is she said she's trying to invoke Keela. She said Boom and Doom is going to be match of the night. And she said, JK, I just want to hear Keela reign.
Listen. Let me be very clear on this, okay? If this is a match of the night, we need to shut down 0 Hour, shut down HBO Max, had a great run, shut down Honor Club. We needed to shut everything down at that point and just say, let's just go on YouTube. That's it for me.
Well,
if that is the standards we have, just shut it down.
Gil's not wrong.
Well, the last person out, please turn off the lights.
Everything's moving to Paramount Plus anyway. Let's vote everything. Just fold it all, damn it. Smooth it all over. One umbrella. One big plus sign.
Crash says general strike. Nikki says match of the night is going to be when the Bucks take the titles off FTR and FTR retire forever. Listen, if that was the stipulation, that would easily be my match of the night.
I mean, if that were part of the whole thing, you two would be like dancing in the streets.
I would go live.
I'd
like,
hear you
sorry,
two shit. I'd like
I
hear
know that you guys, I would crash that AEW post show because there will be a post show. We should mention that tonight after. If you can't get enough Revolution coverage, we set you up for the pre-show. Hopefully, got you hyped for the card. May have pissed you off a little bit, or at least made you angry. made you not want to watch a certain match on 0 Hour. But if you can't get enough of this very long pay-per-view, that will probably be very long. We do have post-match or post-show coverage that will be happening, I believe, right after the show or soon after. If you're following us on social media, I'll make sure to retweet when people are getting ready to go live. But they're going to be talking about this. And then next Sunday, I want to remind you that we are actually going to be an hour early because Mel and I both have real life stuff to do next week. I'm going to Ashe. Mel is going to do some in real life things with her friends. So instead of coming on at 1 next week, we will be here to come talk about all the fallout with you at 12 o'clock Eastern time. So don't forget, we'll make sure to follow. Make sure you follow us on social media because we'll post it all week long to remind you that we will be an hour early next week because we wanted to make sure because we know better. We know that we can't do a short show. So somebody said in the chat that if our show only went 90 minutes, they would think something is wrong.
Yeah.
So we know
they
that
think we were replaced by AI, probably.
Probably so.
My perfect skin looks robotic.
Yes, Nikki said we got to wrap it up in a timely manner so she can watch wrestling in person. Yes, we got to go support Ashe and Darius. And if you have not seen it, especially if you are a fan of Sinners and Ryan Coogler, Darius put out this really funny promo where he was not Ryan Coogler. Just talking about this show, and it was very funny.
That's
so
pretty hilarious.
It was really great. Nikki said Smooth QT took y'all out.
Love it.
If he wins, I will not be here next week.
Sam's already protesting. I understand it if it happens.
You won't hear from me or Keela. I'll go and come into the rack with Keela to talk about WWE.
That is how bad this could get, y'all. Sam has to defect this show and join the rap.
Wow, that's like QT
Sorry,
Marshall.
I'm coming to crash.
If that happened, that would literally be that QT Marshall killed Powerbombshells.
Oh God.
I'm not going to let him. I won't let him kill it. I might let him give me a week off so I can go sue.
All right.
But I will not let him kill this show.
Then you'll come back stronger and angrier than
yes,
ever.
Exactly. Just because John Moxley killed Rampage, I'm not going to let QT
Can we get one of those Wayne's World hackers to like pipe our show right into QT Marshall's mouth? Like satellite geolocate it so that he can hear how much we hate him and tell him to F off forever. He won't be able to listen to us very easily because he'll be too busy not seeing that we're women, but maybe.
And during Women's History Month.
Right.
So is there, Keela, do you have anything else you want to add about this pay-per-view and where can the people find you?
Alrighty, so this show is going to be very long tonight. Buckle up, guys. Have a fun time. Hydrate, eat well, enjoy the show. I will be back later tonight with Jeremy Finestone talking about this very show. So for myself and for Sam, if Boom and Doom have the best match of the night, I will raise all kinds of hell for her on her behalf. So tune in. I presume we're going live around 12:31 a.m. I will make it through. I will talk about the Oscars. I'm rooting for Sinners. If they don't win, I'm going to be in a very bad mood on top of QT hate. Very bad mood for me. So
me too. And the Oscar and the Academy has a bad habit of being the Academy too. So
yes,
because that seriously, it should be a slam dunk for that movie.
It should.
It
should.
good. I watched it over and over. Michael B. Jordan, that should just be dumb. Like they should have given him the thing already. But anyway, yeah. I am also heavily towards Sinners because I found that movie to be, it's just so unique and I just loved it. I thought it was, because it's like 5 different kinds of movies all in one, and it's amazing what they did.
Nikki says the rage of QT will keep you awake for your show.
She'll have so much adrenaline from QT rage that, and if
especially if it's the first
Academy does not do its job
we get tonight.
It's Women's History Month. If the Academy doesn't come through and vote properly, QT.
Make sure that you pray for RJ City, who bless his heart. I'm sure he'll be backstage watching the Oscars on his phone, but he's going to be so sad that he's in the same city and cannot be there
to witness history potentially. I feel for him as well. And then tomorrow I'll be live with Scott on the Wrap talking about Monday Night Raw as the very long endless road to WrestleMania continues. Oh my
God.
God almighty.
You're about to drive us off a cliff with how long this road is.
The road to WrestleMania.
The road is literally a cliff.
A cliff.
Well, it's that movie that where you can't stop walking or whatever because you'll die.
What this feels like.
I just point in my mind. I'm pointing at a sign right now.
Crash says that he might pop in for the post show. He said I'll have been awake for about what feels like 36 hours since it'll be 4 a.m. in the morning, but whatever.
It's like getting up for New Japan.
Right. There you go.
On this side of the world. Yes, thank you. That's the one.
Nikki said new cliff, new era. That's where the new era is, off the cliff. That's where you will find it.
Guys.
Nikki, you found 2 eras in one episode, which I love.
That is a skill. Legend.
Yes. Well, Ron, you are correct. He's looking forward to tonight's show, but we got to get more women on these pay-per-views. 51 men versus 8 women, 2 of whom are working double duty, and Women's History Month is not a great look. It is not a great month. It is not a great look, but when we tweet the positives, shout out to Willow for making history tonight, for defending her title twice. And also, I meant to say it back when we were talking about it. I know Nigel has to be Nigel, but last night on Collision, he said Willow could walk out of Revolution with 0 titles. And I was like, you shut your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know why she's going to win at least one of her matches is because Ian finally got to wrap her entrance in on TV. I have been waiting for him to be back on TV so that he could wrap her in. And Nikki realized it right before the match was going to start. She was like, oh my God, Ian's here. Ian can finally do his Willow wrap on TV for her now that she's the champion. And we are very excited because we love Ian Riccaboni in this house. Crash said he's on holiday all next week, shaking and baking. Why not?
Sounds good.
All right. So as a reminder, next week, 12 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. You can come at 1. You'll just be an hour late. But listen, you too can be on Wizard time because we are.
Yeah, right.
But if you come at 1, we'll still be here. But we'll be starting the show earlier because I can only imagine what's going to happen, not only at this show, but what's going to happen on Dynamite and Collision between that, which is why we were like, because we had thought about it, like if Revolution was not happening, we'd be like, we may have just not had the show next week, but we were like, it's Revolution.
Yeah.
Like we have to come talk about whatever's going to happen.
There's too much new, and plus it's the first one of the year, and there's just too much that we know is going to ultimately happen.
Again, and that's why we're coming an hour earlier so we can try to get because we both have a hard out at 3 p.m.
and we're terrible with hard outs.
Yes. Thank you, Jordan. I did have to represent Sting since Revolution is where he retired, and so I wanted to show him some love as always. And again, we've talked about this before. Revolution is near and dear to me and Mel because it was our first pay-per-view that we covered. And we covered it back on Twitter Spaces because Twitter Spaces was a hot new thing. And
Keela was
Garrett
there.
was like, and yes, and Keela was there. And Garrett was like, why don't you try out Spaces and see what happens? And that's where we did our shows.
Yes, the early days. The early days.
Oh,
Yes.
gee.
And that was back when, and I forgot, I'm so mad that I forgot to mention this on our anniversary show, my feud with the microphone.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, your feud.
Oh
How
my
did we
God.
forget that? Why I don't use a microphone anymore is because
That would have
Your
been a good one
long-standing
for
war.
that would have been a good one for Power Bombshells trivia.
Yes.
it would have been. We'll
I'll
have
have
to
to remember
write that
that for
down for
next
next year. For next year about the
What famous thing did Sam feud with? What famous
what inanimate object did
what
Sam
famous
feud with that was
inanimate
not
object
QT
did
or
Sam
FDR?
feud with for nearly a year?
Thank you, Crash. Crash said to have a happy.
Oh
St.
yeah,
Patrick's Day
you as well.
from Ireland to y'all. Thank you very much. And what event is happening next week? Or do you mean why we're coming in early? I'm going to Ashe is having their first show of the year. It's an afternoon show and it's at a new venue and downtown. It's like across the street from where the Panthers play, and I don't know what traffic's going to be like. So, or parking for that matter. So,
And I'm gonna go hang out with a different kind of my other group of carnies because we have a guild. Our family guild get together got pushed back because of a really shitty snowstorm a few months back. So we moved it. So we like to get together in the off season when we don't get to see each other for long stretches of months.
It was very cool. So
Yeah,
we will be
different
coming to
carnies.
wrestling and do.
I'll still be
IRL.
doing carny shit. It's just different carny shit.
You're gonna have a full day of carny shit.
Okay.
Coming
You
to talk
just
about
described
it
my
with you.
life, Sam.
I mean, mine too. So, all right. Thank you so much, Keela, for coming
Yes,
to
thank
play or
you.
hate with us.
It is my pleasure as always. When QT's around, so am I.
He's a bat signal. I'm telling you.
Yes, he
He's
is.
he's a bat signal for Big Boom AJ and also for Keela and me.
We gotta get it's a Keela emergency for Sam because we need to get the two of them together so Mel can put on those 3D glasses. And
Now
grab
we're
the
gonna have to.
popcorn.
We really are gonna have to put that video together that
Yeah.
Curry Head was talking about earlier. All right, we are leaving for real. Enjoy Revolution. Come chat tonight with Keela some more. Then chat with her tomorrow night, even if you don't watch Raw. Because I really want to hear her thoughts on the rumored match that is going to be happening at WrestleMania. That is enough for you to tune into the wrap. I cannot wait to hear Keela's thoughts about that.
And I know that my co-captain is going to have a dissenting opinion. He is. And that is why I'm here to
That's
provide
right.
facts.
Those are the
Perfect.
best.
Even
He's the
better.
best. It's
That's
a
the
great back and forth debate, but I will win because ain't no way.
She probably will. All right, everybody, have a great Patty's Day and a great Revolution night, and we will see you next week at 12 p.m. Eastern. Yay!